What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Viall Files Reality Recap Edition. I'm your host, Nick. I hope you all had a very wonderful Valentine's Day weekend. Always had to emphasize the N.
Yeah, he does struggle with that.
I have to think of the letter N.
Mm.
I mean, I would say for 30-some years, I had no idea.
What was going on the first?
Just thought it was that.
15.
I just said Valentine's, and
But your name is Nick. Why do you have to think about the N?
Yeah, you're not like,
Because
hey,
for
everyone, I'm Mick.
I would say for 30 plus years, I just really didn't know it was Valentine's.
Mick Viall.
Really?
Why do I give a fuck how it
Oh my
First of
God.
all, we all know I can't spell.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I'm triggered. Yeah, you're coming at me right now. It's
Sure,
early. It's
got it.
Monday.
What did you get for Valentine's Day?
Oh my God, I had this lovely Valentine's Day package, little basket that my wife got me.
What was in
And-
the basket?
Oh my God, so many things. I had this really nice sweater shirt
Mhm.
that Natalie asked. You know, when Natalie says, "Do you want to open a gift early?" That means I should ask to open a gift early because she wanted me to wear it for our interview. We went to New York over the weekend to interview our Going Deeper guest this week, Alessia Cara. Very excited about that.
Very excited about
Alessia had a new album drop on Valentine's Day. Her album Love and Hyperbole is out. It's an amazing album. Anyways, we got to sit down with her. Alessia, obviously, she won a Grammy back in like 2017-ish, something around that. She's had a very great career. She's been kind of quiet lately and kind of like under the radar.
that. She went a little MIA.
Yeah, took a little break from music. Anyway, she's back better than ever, and we got to sit down with her. So that is our Going Deeper on Wednesday. But anyways, we were in New York, and I got to wear my Valentine's Day gift.
Yeah.
Now I got flowers when we got back from New York.
Yeah, when we got back from New York. Yeah, I got flowers. Honestly, it was better than...
We had a wonderful Valentine's Day.
No, what's funny, though, is that...
I was so busy. I haven't even had time to post a Valentine's Day I love you message to my wife.
Oh my God, you haven't let the internet fucking know we
I
love each
haven't-
other?
I haven't let them know.
Wait, the question
I've been
is,
too, I've been
Oh my God,
too
they're
busy
gonna-
being in love.
They're gonna forget.
the question is, did you ask Natalie to be your Valentine?
I think at some point I kind of like joked about it. Yeah.
Joke.
Is that a
You
thing?
think this is a joking
Is that
matter?
a thing?
I guess Connor.
Are
Will you be mine?
Yeah, Connor asked me like 5 days before Valentine's Day over cookies.
No, what a romantic.
Well,
Isn't that the point of being married?
no, because you know what?
I have to go in there on a Tuesday before Valentine's Day, be like, I hope she says yes.
No, it's funny because Nick was like, we went shopping after our interview, and Nick's like, let's find you like a Valentine's Day gift. And
Well,
I was
first we
like,
stopped at a
"Oh."
friend's, and then after we stopped at the friend's, we were walking on the street. And we saw Meg Ryan just walking. It
We did see Meg Ryan.
was very cool. It was a
Very
very cool celebrity sighting.
And
And
Yeah.
then after that, Nick was like, let's find you a Val. And I'm like, okay. So we're like, he's like, no, not like that.
Not a purse.
Not
No, no, no.
anything like that. So then
She's like, "Let's go to
anything that
Prada."
I,
I'm like, no.
anything I looked
Need
at,
jeans?
he's like, do you want that for Valentine's Day? What about that light bulb? Do you want that for Valentine's Day? Oh, do you want that for Valentine's Day? That
It wasn't
sweatshirt, do you want
that
that for
egregious.
Valentine's Day? I'm like, I'm just touching it. I'm just seeing if it's soft. He's like, but do you want it for Valentine's Day?
But anytime you stood in front of a luxury window, he was like, yeah,
Let's go.
nope.
Keep it moving. Yeah. But we were supposed to go to Peter Luger for dinner Valentine's Day night, which is the place that Nick rejected me at, which I said this on my Instagram story, and I got so many people being like, what? He rejected you? What? Are you serious? Tell this story. And I'm like, we've definitely told it ad nauseum, but like,
We got new fans,
for sure.
You know,
For
not
sure.
everyone's heard.
But I think that place in particular, because we both remember it so vividly, of like us sitting down at this restaurant
We
in
were
New
at
York
dinner,
City.
and we were finishing dinner, and Natalie was like, so, no, I really think we should date. And I was like, absolutely not.
No, I that's when I said I was in love with you. Or I was falling in love with you.
Hmm.
I think I'm starting to fall in love with you.
She was starting the process. She was on her first one-on-one.
Our first one-on-one, I was starting
And
to fall.
what did you
Wow.
say? That's great.
He
Can we
said
get some
we'll-
more bread?
He said we'll get the check. Yeah.
It wasn't
he was
like that.
no.
But I definitely zigged and zagged. I pulled a West.
It's
I
like, yeah,
was
how do you get out of this?
Yeah. He definitely was zigging and zagging. And so it kind of is a triggering place for me. So
That's not true.
we were like, you know what?
It's triggering now because she doesn't like the way the steak's prepared.
It's only because we went there when I was pregnant as like a let's go again to the place where you rejected me for fun memory's sake. And the steak was a little too staking. And my pregnancy self was like, I see the cow. I see it mooing at me, so I won't be able to eat that.
I just love of like all the steakhouses and restaurants in New York City that you just keep going back to this one being like, we will rewrite this memory and you will love this place.
Honestly,
No,
I
I mean-
wish we would have gone there so you could have asked me to be your Valentine's and I could have said no.
That would have been really cool. That would have been really
Well,
cool.
instead, we got a rezzo at an Italian restaurant like near our hotel. We went to
Serafina?
Yeah,
Mhm.
lovely.
Amazing.
I was like,
Very
let's just
good.
walk down there. It's fine. It's quick. It's a block down.
But Natalie and I like to walk the streets of New York and shop, and we decided to go to one of our favorite pizza places that's near a hotel that we often stay at that we didn't stay at this time. And so I'm curious, how trashy is this? Maybe this could be our daily dilemma. Are you fucking kidding me? I'm losing my mind.
Yeah.
It was New York. It was cold. It was Valentine's Day. Like, it's cold. And we got a couple slices at this little like corner pizza place. So there's not a lot of space. There's no chairs. They have a little bar area against the windows. So we got the pizzas to go. And we took them across the street to the hotel that we were not staying at.
But we have before.
But we have before several times. So much so that I'm pretty sure the maitre d' or whatever recognized us. Concierge recognized us. And we pretended to be patrons at the hotel while we ate the pizza inside the lobby while we were warm.
And I kept being like, well, we'll just finish our pizza. Then we'll go up to our room. We'll go up to our room after we finish this pizza. In case anyone's listening. And then as we were walking out, I could feel the concierge staring at us. And I was like, well, let's just go back outside and then we'll go back up to our room.
You're completely in the right.
Thank you.
You're economizing the heat.
Thank you.
Thank you.
It felt adventurous.
Yeah.
And a little trashy.
I've
Like-
like definitely snuck into a hotel lobby to like pee before and when in a city.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
That's
Like,
okay. I feel
that's
like,
a lobby.
like opening up this big pizza box right in front of the elevator. I'm like
Mhm.
dipping it in ranch, like having a full on sit down restaurant
Good.
moment. And
Yeah.
people are like taking their luggage upstairs. It definitely was.
And then we left.
Work smarter, not harder.
And then we left. Yeah.
No one said anything.
And no one said anything because I was very vocal about then we'd go upstairs.
Well, we have a great show lined up for you momentarily. Our friend of show, Cazzie David, is joining us. She has a new movie out called I'll Love You Forever that she wrote and directed. It's a great movie. We watched it over the weekend. If you love a good breakup film or just like a very self-aware like relationship movie that kind of like pokes holes, make kind of fun of yourself. And
I mean,
kind
make no mistake, it is a little triggering and dark.
It's
Very
a
dark humor.
It's a dark comedy. If you've been in a kind of a love bombing type of relationship, it might be a little triggering for you. It also has a lot of humor about like just some of the mistakes that we make in relationships. Anyways, it's really good. Cazzie will be with us. She's also a huge Traitors fan, so she'll be talking some Traitors with us as well. Plus, we have, who do we got? We got Dave from Love is Blind. We got Parisa with us, recently exiled from Bachelor Mansion. She's
Even
with us
after
as
he
well.
brought her some rocks.
He brought her some rocks and said, get the fuck out. It was a parting
Switch
gift.
is wild.
Yeah.
What about those rocks you gave me?
I want to make you feel special and kick your ass out.
Yeah. I liked her. I was bummed. She was one of my favorites.
Yeah, after the
She-
Chubby Bunny thing, I was like,
Chubby
I'm a
Bunny was
fan.
really cute, and a girl who loves her cat, I can always relate to.
No, she was
Mm.
adorable.
Yeah.
Also, don't forget to check out Viall Files Plus if you haven't yet already. Every week we have our Pop Extra episodes, our weekly conversations about all your favorite pop culture topics we didn't get to talk about on Reality Recap. We really get into the weeds and give some hot, juicy takes there. We got our Vanderpump recaps. We're in the middle of season 5.
Season 5, yes.
Five.
Season 5, plus our update specials, all your weekly updates from your favorite Ask Nick calls and texting office hours. That is all under Viall Files Plus. It's free to sign up. Go to Apple. If you listen to the podcast on Apple, you can sign up right there, or just go to viallfiles.com. You sign up on either one. You don't need to do both. And then enjoy. Can we argue about Paige and Craig before Cazzie gets here?
What is there to argue about?
Well, Leia has...
Here we go.
Leo wants to argue.
Leia thinks
you
Craig's
wanna
milking
argue?
it.
I agree with Leo.
I do.
You're going to agree with
well,
whatever
I think
Paige
that
does.
he was
regardless.
milking it.
Yeah. Okay, that's fair. As long as you point that out.
Yeah. I'm team Paige with no reason to back it up.
I have reasons.
Anyways, for those of you people who don't know, at the end of last week, Ciara from Summerhouse, also Traitors, went on Watch What Happens Live with Lindsay Hubbard to promote Summerhouse.
Mhm.
And on that appearance, Ciara, I don't know if she had Paige's back, which Ciara having Paige's back, I love that. I love that she's loyal to her friends. She's
Girl's
a ride
girl.
or die. She's a girl's girl. She's there to have her friends back. So that much I do get. But she she doubled down on the Craig is supposed to have Paige's back. He's supposed to deny these rumors about Paige, and she claimed that he's milking it. And then we watched the Summerhouse premiere, and at the end of that, which giving like a season preview, they pick up cameras. We don't know when they pick up cameras, but clearly after they broke up and these rumors started circulating, and you have Paige making an accusation on camera, I'm not sure to exactly who,
It
claiming
was to Amanda and Lindsay.
that she caught Craig texting two bitches. that she said at some point during their relationship. And then we watch Summerhouse, and then Ciara's still mad at West for their situationship, which I think that just makes Ciara a really good friend because she's going out of her way to have Paige's back at the risk of kind of like being a hypocrite.
I mean, the women of Summerhouse very much band together, and it's nice. I don't know.
Love.
You think she's a hypocrite because she's saying Craig is milking it while it's been a year of her and West, and she's kind of still like upset about the situation.
Yeah, I mean, she's like, she had an on-camera romance, a situationship, if you will, definitely some hurt feelings. She seems to be really upset that West ultimately decided he didn't like her.
Mm-hmm.
Not that West didn't do things that maybe he could have been more sensitive and more caring. We understand that, but like, you know.
But I think we can acknowledge that we only see a little bit of their relationship, and we have no idea what he was telling her behind
Same as
closed doors.
Paige and Craig, but what we do know is that Craig and Paige dated for 3 years, and West and Ciara never were even boyfriend and girlfriend. And if you're going to accuse Craig of milking a breakup, then, you know, it comes across a bit hypocritical that you're still like upset about a situationship that didn't go the way you wanted.
From the show, it seemed like Ciara was more mad about West's press tour. Is what it seemed like to me on the show.
Yeah, doing the whole like
the New York Times.
Like,
yeah, but what was she really mad at? She was mad at like that West saying, and he said this on our show as well, that he didn't really see a future with her.
I think she was mad that he said that publicly, and it seemed like he said it publicly, but he didn't say it to her.
I mean, fine. Again, she has hurt feelings. She has the right to have hurt feelings. But Craig has hurt feelings.
She said Paige didn't.
I'm just saying, Paige and Ciara operate like when they're upset and when they're hurt, everyone's supposed to, you know, they're justified to have their feelings. And according to them, when it's the other way around, they're milking it. How is not that a bit hypocritical?
So what Ciara said was, she said, Paige didn't cheat on Craig and he knows that. And regardless of whether or not he wants to say, we all know what he's doing. You know, the Bravo fans love to run with things. And by him not saying anything, he knows exactly what he's doing. To me, that was clear on his Watch What Happens Live appearance. He was asked point blank, did she cheat? And he basically said, I don't want to talk about, like, I don't want to speak to that. I'm not the one who said it. I was broken up with, etc.
Yeah.
He could have just said, no, she didn't cheat.
But he did say,
he didn't.
I'm not here to defend Reddit rumors. Like, I'm not going on Reddit and like fighting back with anonymous trolls for someone who broke up with me. He's like, I put a statement out on Instagram. I said, like, we're good. I'm a little blindsided. I'm heartbroken, but like, give her love and peace and privacy and give me love and peace and privacy. And like, he wasn't like, she really betrayed me, and she really, like, he didn't feed into anything that was going around. He really said, like, give us our space and like be kind to each other.
I don't know. I mean, I think that you also have Austin going on Watch What Happens Live, and you know, he wasn't spreading the rumor, but he wasn't shutting it down either. And I think that, you know, then Paige, they pick up cameras and she says that he was texting 2 bitches.
Do you think that that gives her the right to like expose that he allegedly was texting 2 other bitches during their relationship because didn't? I'm just using Paige's words. because he didn't defend these rumors against her.
I think that might have been too far, but I also I think that she's defending herself at this point. Like, she's on the defense now.
Just out of curiosity, why does Paige get Craig's benefit of the doubt? And I only ask this because like my perception of this breakup is that Paige at some point thought she outgrew Craig. And this is evidenced by like comments that she's made or just like comments she's liked online, you know, like this insinuation that Paige is kind of like wants someone who's more like in line with her or certainly more compatible with her. And that's fine. We outgrow people, we move on, we fall out of love. That's totally fine. But usually when that happens, and I'm not accusing Paige of anything, but sometimes you have a bit of a wandering eye. When you feel like you've outgrown a relationship, you kind of start looking around. And again, like that's just human nature. Again, that's not mean she did anything wrong. That's just like a human thing. And then they break up at some point. And then some point recently after, she seems to start dating some guy. Now, there's rumors going around about that relationship, how that ended, and blah, blah, blah. We're not going to, they're all unverified. But if you're Craig and you start hearing these rumors about, you know, and all of a sudden you get broken up with and it feels like out of the blue, and then you start hearing rumors about maybe people have been talking ahead of time, like why should Craig go out of his way to like, say with 100% certainty that he knows Paige didn't do anything? How does he know that? You know what I'm saying? Like, sure, like her, you know, oh, of course she would never do that. Listen, when like most people who get cheated on, when it happens, they think this could never happen to them, and they think the person who did it would never do it to them. So now that their relationship's over, and she's moved on and she's holding hands with some other guy and seeming really close with another guy, which I'm sure to Craig, even if it's been a few months, feels really early. Why should Craig go out of his way to like have her back? And how does he know with absolute certainty that she didn't do anything?
Well, he's not going out of his way again to I'm not saying that he should be scouring Reddit and defending her. I'm just saying when prompted, asked point blank by Andy Cohen, did she cheat? He could have just been like, I don't think so. Not to my knowledge. His answer was, in my opinion, very calculated. And I agree with Ciara that he knows exactly what he's doing. And he knows that Bravo
I mean,
Nation is
to sit here and say that,
him.
fine, Paige knows exactly what she's doing too. She's a very smart, very sophisticated person. So you can't accuse Craig of being calculated and Paige not. When Paige picks up cameras and on camera, after like saying she would never talk bad about Craig, talks bad about Craig and accuses him of cheating, you know, and I just, again, if two people have the right to break up, but like Paige is operating as if she assumes her audience and her fans are going to have her back. And she's kind of acting like she should not in any, like when you break up with someone, you break someone's heart, you're kind of the bad guy. You're their bad guy. It's not, she's not a bad guy, but like, he has the right to be upset with her. And if anyone's a fan of Craig's because this is a public relationship and they both have fans, like they're allowed to have Craig's back. And Paige is kind of operating like, you know, she didn't do anything wrong. And I don't think she did anything wrong per se, but she is kind of operating as if like she doesn't need to be careful. She has the right to go out whenever she wants. She's a free and independent single woman now. And those are all true. But when you're in the public eye, and you have an audience, you have to sometimes be careful of the optics, regardless of the optics are true or not, because people have their opinions and she doesn't give a fuck, and that's fine. But she wants Craig to have her back in the meantime. So she wants to go out and operate, and she wants to go out in public and go to games and hold people's hands. And then when rumors start circulating, she wants Craig to what? Stand up and say, don't worry, she didn't cheat? That's fucking insane.
Well, say that she actually did. She says that she caught Craig texting two women. So
sure, that's all we know. But it could have been anyone.
That's true.
What do we know about those women?
But
let's say it was inappropriate.
Let's say she was hiding this because she knows about the optics, she knows about Bravo Nation, and so she was protecting Craig all this time. And now she's like, well, fuck that. If he's not going to have my back, I'm not going to have his.
Okay, sure. Now it's getting fine. It's getting messy and spiteful, but like, we're still under the impression that Paige outgrew Craig, didn't want to be in that relationship, and broke his heart. And we're all acting like Craig, like Ciara having an opinion, or any of Paige's friends having an opinion about Craig's feelings and whether it's time for him to just move on, is insanity. When I disagreed with how Ciara handled the West thing, fine, because I just felt like she was upset that he didn't like her, but she has the right to feel however she wants. And if she wants to still be upset, that's fine. To sit there and tell someone you're milking it because your feelings shouldn't be hurt anymore, that's crazy.
I just think that the way that a breakup happens is important too, because the way that West broke it off with Ciara mattered. You know, he didn't just not like her. He also was, you know, he
let her on and
he
then
let
slept
her
with
on
her
to,
and then yeah.
I mean,
exactly.
How do you know
and
he
so
let
I
her
think
on?
that the way that Paige and
Well,
Craig
it's Ciara's
broke up
words.
matters, and none of us
I've heard
were there.
I've heard Wes's version, and Wes's version is like he just realized he didn't like her after hanging out with her an entire
So there's
summer.
Wes's version, there's Ciara's version,
Sure.
and then somewhere in the middle there's a truth. So
Yeah.
you got to kind of like
And a clear disconnect.
in a clear disconnect.
But we do know that they were never dating, and we do know early on that Wes made it very clear that he has like, you know, commitment issues. There's that.
Yeah, but I'm sorry. You and I got into it last time about this. We don't need to rehash it. But I'm like, I'm sorry, but it's like there's some iota of responsibility where it's like just because you don't traditionally think bringing a girl home and meeting your family and spending holidays and doing and wedding dates and all of that isn't a relationship status. To the majority of people, it is. So Wes being immature and not saying that to her face.
And he also knew that if he slept with her, she wasn't going to sleep with him unless it like meant something. And he like allowed them to sleep together, and like it got in her fucking head. And then he was like, what do you mean? Well, we slept together, but I don't even like you.
I'm not even here to like have Wes's back. I'm just here. If Ciara, fine. And if Ciara has the right to be upset about Wes, I am just saying it's a little bit much for her to be calling out Craig.
We already got into that part.
And then Wes puts a New York Times article out though. So who's milking it?
That was kind of crazy. I'm just like 1 season on. But anyways, Also, but the other defense I do have
No,
with
I'm just like, why I'm not who's accusing West of milking it? He did an interview and someone asked him a question about the breakup.
No, that was
No.
not an interview where someone asked him a question. That was an entire New York Times article based around him and Ciara.
with
What
a
did it say?
conversation he'd never
What
had
was
with
the
Ciara.
headline? Pull up the headline. Do we have it?
It was like being Ciara and being the newbie guy, and that he just felt, or like that he just wanted to break up with her. But it was like a bunch of headlines that they showed. But it's like, no, there's no reason why somebody from a first season on a show is getting a New York Times expose on his relationship storyline. It made zero sense.
The headline was Wes Wilson of Summerhouse discusses his first taste of infamy.
When Mr. Wilson was accused on the reunion of misleading Ciara Miller, his castmate and former romantic interest fan backlash was swift.
That's the sub
That is the
headline.
entire fucking article.
Okay, and then what was the
And
problem?
then he came on here and he talked about it on here. And then
Which
he,
one he did? I didn't think he did that ours first.
we're just saying, like, clearly in this entire group of all of these shows, all of these people are pretty hypocritical and
Sure.
every breakup gets really messy.
Mhm.
And so I don't think there's really a place to take like stand on sides because it's clear that there's a lot of disconnect between everyone involved.
I'm with you. I just think, I just don't think more than anything we should be like the idea that Craig doesn't have the right to be upset and that he is supposed to have Paige's back after they're broken up, regardless of how Paige chooses to move and operate. To me, is nuts, but that's nuts.
Yeah,
That's just me.
my whole thing is just the term milking it claims that it's like we're trying to drag something out. I don't know how someone's milking it when they're not really talking about it.
Yeah. And it's been like
Well,
2
I
3
mean-
months. So it's like, let's give the guy a little bit of time to like feel a breakup.
Ciara, was it Lindsay that said the word milking it? I mean, Ciara was insinuating that.
I'm pretty positive it was Ciara that said it, because she's the one that has like the headlines going about it too.
Did you see the memes of it?
What's going on?
We can keep,
I know, it was
keep this in the
Lindsay.
episode, but people are saying there's going to be another war and it's Summerhouse versus Southern Charm
Ooh.
because it's like the two
Y'all see
fan
that
bases are
fight
pinned against each
between-
other.
Ciara and Lexi later on.
Oh yeah. Oh, girl. Yes, Jesse Sullivan being so messy.
Was that in episode 1?
Teaser.
Teaser coming up. Ciara and Jesse are flirting, and Lexi is pissed
Oh, because Jesse's just like.
because Jesse's being messy. Messy Jesse.
Well, Jesse is like, he's friends with Ciara, and he's just like, he has that friend where you just like, I used to be, when I was single and I had like girlfriends who were just friends, but like, they were attractive, and you'd be like, oh, you're so hot or whatever. Like,
yeah.
and
I'm
then he
not going
starts
to look
li-
up your skirt.
But he starts looking at, he starts liking another girl, and he's still doing the whole "you're so hot" to his quote unquote friends.
Well, that's why I'm like, they're just messy because I'm like, usually for me, a friend's ex hookup, whatever, would be off limits. But it's like, all right, Wes, you're done with her. Let me take a whack at it. They're messy in the summer house.
Ciara's a little messy.
All right, well, I think Cazzie David is almost here, so Cazzie, welcome back.
Loafer girl. Yes. Thank you.
Where do you want to start? Your amazing new movie?
No, I don't want to start
Traitors?
with that.
You don't want to start with that?
Yeah.
Okay, we already talked about it a little bit.
Yeah, I feel like that's enough.
No.
Do you know Nick Lehman?
Yeah.
He DM'd me and was like, I was terrified the entire time, but I couldn't stop laughing.
Oh
was
my god, I
like,
love
yes,
that. I love
exactly.
that. It's the best thing you can say for sure.
Well, how you been?
Yeah. I mean, I'm always kind of like weird and bad, but
Sure.
fine.
But fine.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like surviving, hanging in there.
How long did it take you to write this movie?
I don't actually know like the exact length of time it took us to write because there were a lot of drafts over the span of like a couple years.
Oh, wow.
But I would say like definitely a couple months to start out, and then like probably like a 5-year process, like trying to get it off the ground and stuff. That's honestly like just the average, I feel like, for everyone to make anything.
I don't know how movies are even made.
Yeah, honestly, same.
What
Yeah.
what inspired you to write this genre of movie?
Mainly that I knew so many people who had also gone through something like this. And I just thought it was so ironic that all these rom-coms start out the same way as these like textbook abusive relationships. And like, why isn't that a movie,
Yeah. Well, it's
That
funny
is
because
true.
like sometimes you watch these rom-coms where or like Sex in the City is like a show we love watching. And then like it's always portrayed in this like very like romantic way that you're supposed to be like, oh, I want that. But when you like kind of take away some of the shine, you're like, wait, is Big kind of
Yeah.
like toxic and emotionally abusive
Right,
potentially?
right,
Like,
right, right.
when they don't romanticize it. And like this movie really kind of leaned into that. And I just really love the just the self-deprecating humor about like more than anything, like how we lie to ourselves in relationships.
Yeah, for sure.
That's great.
I think it was also spawned from like me being annoyed how like misused all of those terms are online. Like the love bombing, gaslighting, you know, toxic, narcissist. Like it just like started to really piss me off. And I just kind of wanted to show like what it actually means.
I think the line about I texted him that I had a dream about him and he didn't respond. I was like, the amount of guys I have been like, oh my God, you were in my dream last night.
It's like a really bad pickup line.
So bad.
It does not work.
No, my favorite was if you're not going to go to therapy, at least watch some of the TikToks I sent you.
Yeah.
It was really funny.
The idea with the dream thing, it's like, you know, I actually did have a dream about this person. So it's like weirder to not tell them that I had a dream about them, you know?
Yeah.
But then it sounds like you made it up.
Yeah.
I know. It's kind of like when you leave something at a guy's place and you like don't even want to tell them because it's so cliche to like be like, I left something there.
That is so
It's like I'd rather just like
true.
leave.
Just leave it. Like,
yeah, even if it's like my favorite belonging. Like it's too embarrassing to tell them.
That is so true.
I meant to leave that. I don't want it back. You can have it.
Yeah,
for you.
Because then it's like, well, what was the dream about? And then you have to be like, well, I was like in the ocean fighting wolves, and then you were there. It's like,
they'll never ask you what it was about. It's like all you want is to be like, well, we like both looked really cute, and
we're
like
making out like a lot.
It was super
so
hot.
A lot of tongue.
Yeah, like you were loving it.
Yeah, no, you're in love with me. So
yeah, and then you co-wrote and directed it with your friend Elisa.
Yeah. We've been like writing partners for like 10 years now. So.
And was this your first time directing?
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, well, I directed, I guess, like a web series, which I don't even know if that counts. I guess it does, but yeah.
So your first
definitely
feature.
Like lower
Were you
stakes.
saying action?
You know what? I have a really hard time saying action.
Oh no.
So
How are you a director?
I know. So I actually would have the AD yell action. It just felt like
bossy.
Not me. Yeah. I'm not someone who can say action.
You're like, can we start yet? You're like, I'm trying to get it out.
I mean, like, you know, I'm going to say that thing that people say when you want to start the scene, and you guys know what that means. So
Everyone
just,
go.
you know, yeah. So feel free to just start when you want to.
Whenever you're ready.
Yeah. No, not an action person, for sure.
That's really funny.
Oh, that's great. Well, the movie is, I know you don't want to keep talking about it.
I'm fine.
It's really good, though. You should be really proud. I love a good rom-com. There's not enough of them out there today. And I was texting you about this yesterday, but, you know, I think every generation has like their breakup movie.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you're breaking up with someone and you just don't really know how to feel about how you're feeling and you want to connect with something, sometimes there's a movie out there that really like kind of like not only speaks to like the pain you're feeling, but it calls you out on some of your bullshit. For me, it was like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, you know,
for sure.
and I feel like this movie for this generation, because it does like topically like talk about some of the things that people out there are dating experience and just some of the language people are using, whether it's correct or incorrect and things like that. Because like you said, there's a lot of people out there who have dated people like this or have had relationships like this or have acted that way in these types of relationships. And I think it can be very eye-opening and like help people get over that stuff, because like Forgetting Sarah Marshall, like as great as it was, like I was going through a breakup just like that. And just to be able to watch that, I watched it over and over. And like every time I did, it helped me like feel good, because like he kind of like woke up and like really saw her for who she was throughout that movie. Anyway, so
this is definitely not a feel good movie.
No, it's definitely, it's dark.
But it is very much like, it feels like it does feel like a rom-com for our generation, and that was kind of the point.
The ending is, I loved the end. It's very uplifting, and it's a kind of a, like Swingers has that ending where it's kind of that like aha moment at the end.
Right.
Anyways, congratulations.
Thank you. And thanks
really
for watching it, you guys. Appreciate
Of course, it was really good.
It was really good. You can find it on Amazon. It's available. It's out now. It's called I Love You Forever.
Someone did message me and say, I found it and oh my God, it's so romantic. And I was like, girl, get help.
Yeah, that is, I actually watched a different movie maybe. It's on Apple too. Anywhere you can like buy a movie. It's
anywhere you can buy a movie.
There, yeah.
Okay. SNL50 was last night.
Yeah.
Did you see your dad's
Glambot.
Glambot is pretty
Oh
iconic.
my God. First of all, I was like, I can't believe there's a glam bot at this thing.
That
Like, this is like
honestly, yeah.
this is comedians. Like, why is there a glam bot? It's like, is this the Oscars?
Yeah, that
I
was weirdly placed.
It was so
was.
weird. The whole first half, I was like, this is so over the top. And then the second half, I got super into it and I was like, oh, this is like amazing.
Where was like the break for you?
Honestly, like it's so weird because usually in an SNL episode, like everything before update is like better. And then after update, you know, they made a joke about it last night, but you get a little sleepy. And I felt like the second half of the show was way better than the first half.
Yeah.
But the second half, it was like bringing back all of those people and those really good sketches.
Yeah,
I love that. They were great. And Paul McCartney, like that's the coolest thing ever, seeing him perform. Like, oh my God.
That was sick. It was
That
also
was
cool to see
awesome.
like Cher. in the
Yeah.
audience And be like, do you have
Do you
any
have a question?
do you-
No,
Yeah.
I don't.
I don't.
Yeah.
I have a lot of answers though.
So many, I mean, Will Ferrell, like
Oh my God. That
Eddie
was
Murphy.
funny.
It's so cool.
Was that prison one?
prison
Yeah,
where
that
he
was
came out
great.
and his. Yeah.
That's a great sketch. Yeah.
Oh, were some of those that like? I mean, I haven't seen every episode of SNL, so some of those were like iconic,
I
have
would
done
say
before.
most of those sketches are like old sketches that.
Cool.
But I think it's like once a cast member leaves, like that whose sketch that really was, like they don't really do it again. And so when they come back, you get to see them again. which
Did
is
they
good.
ask your dad at all to join in anything, or
You know, I don't know.
or
I
he
mean,
just kind of
yeah, I'm not sure.
Ryan and Blake made a little appearance.
I know
in
that
the
was. I
audience.
thought that was great.
I thought it was pretty funny.
really
That was
good.
Yeah.
That's kind of the only way to just kind of, I don't know the word, just
Like diffuse the tension almost.
yeah, it's like
And,
is
like,
you
move
have to
on.
go on SNL. Like
Yeah.
I was saying, like Drake needs to go on SNL like
Yeah.
this year, and that's like his only option.
That
you
is
know,
so true. Yeah.
like Drake has like literally two options, which is like to fake his own death
or go on
or go on SNL.
like
And
drop all the
yeah.
lawsuits and just go on SNL.
I was trying to think like if I was his PR person, like what would I tell him to do? And SNL was the only thing I could think of.
It has to be at this
Yeah.
point. Like,
I thought it was
what else?
it was pretty funny. They made an appearance as a couple. They look great. Justin Baldoni's out surfing in Hawaii, taking pop shots with a really bad back. A back that's so bad that apparently he needs to like get unsolicited updates on Blake Lively's weight, but he's surfing. Back's doing better.
That's a good point. That's a good
Yeah.
point.
It's probably because he figured out Blake Lively's weight
Yeah.
that his back is doing better.
I have surfed in Hawaii, and it's not nice to your back at all.
Yeah, it's
brutal.
quite a dangerous sport.
Anything else in the SNL that we trying to think? It was long. It was good though.
It was really long.
Really long. I love SNL on a Sunday at 5 p.m. Like
Yeah.
they should just move it.
Let's move it Sunday night.
That
Yeah.
was nice.
Like
Yeah.
Sunday at 5 watching SNL was great.
It was really great. Like while you're cooking dinner, it was perfect. What did
Yeah.
you think of the Kim Kardashian skit with Kristen
Oh,
Wiig
like
and-
that's an old sketch too. I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah.
You don't really some of them they're so bizarre. You don't really know why it's funny.
Yeah.
And that's not really my humor is when I don't know why it's funny, but that one is just like I was cracking up and I was like, I don't even know why I'm
'Cause
finding
it's so
it so funny.
creepy and
It's so
uncomfortable,
crazy.
and she's got that
Yeah.
forehead.
Yeah, it was great. It was great.
He said, "I found you a helmet," and it's like super low.
Did
down
you
on
see the
front of thing.
outtakes of that bit where it was Will Forte and Jason Sudeikis and Will Forte was in the like the Elmo costume
Yeah.
Mhm.
and they stood up in the crowd. There's like outtakes now and there's like who played Wednesday Addams?
Jenna Ortega.
Yeah, and I guess she was like right next to Jason Sudeikis and she keeps like dodging his hand movements because like it's so small in
Yeah.
there and she's just going like
oh my god,
this.
it's hilarious.
It's pretty hilarious. You got to watch
I think there
it.
was also a point of that of like her trying to play a bit of like what the fuck are these people doing here and
Maybe.
like trying to play because I think her and Kevin Costner were doing the same kind of thing. Like he was like, "Let me get my glasses out," and like put his glasses
Kev
on.
looked
and was
hot.
like, no, Kev looked hot.
I can't ever really remember his face. So I'm trying to think of who
Think
it
of
is.
hot,
A hot man.
a hot man.
Okay,
Kevin
it's ringing
Costner.
a bell.
It's ringing.
It seemed a
bell.
little random that he was there though. I mean, there's a lot of
It was literally the Oscars. Like,
Yeah.
It was crazy.
It was kind of weird, like looking into the crowd as they would pan to the commercials, and everyone was like,
I almost wish Lauren like had died so like it would like justify it a little bit more, you know? Like I wish this was like a celebration of like what Lauren
"What
has
are we gonna do
done.
now
Yeah.
when he does die?"
It's like, we're gonna have to do this again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it'll be like a little played
Yeah.
out by then. It was nice to see Zach Galifianakis. Haven't seen him in quite some time. I
Yeah,
feel like.
he's great.
Traitors.
Traitors.
This is what you've been dying to talk about.
Well, I was really dying to talk about it when Boston Rob was still on. And now that that's passed, I'm so much less invested now. I don't really know who to root for.
I know.
And this is interesting because I know on The Bachelor, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but they want to keep certain people around to keep it interesting, right?
Yeah, I
Like,
think
they won't really
there's some
let-
producing. Yeah.
Yeah. And I like that on Traitors, you can tell for sure that they don't do that.
No.
They're like, play the game, like remove anyone you want to remove.
Short of, we interviewed Rob last week, and he was talking about like when he showed up, they had that plan of how they
Shake his
presented
hand,
them and that, or the bringing them back. Short of like how they introduce them and things like that. Yeah, the producers are.
Yeah, but
They're
that's
not
the thing. It's
pulling
like
strings
you
as much
almost,
as other shows.
I can't tell if I want them to pull strings a little bit more because they removed every single strategic person.
Yeah.
And without anyone who has like that kind of manipulation skill, it's just less fun to watch because they're all now it's just like a bunch of like chickens with their heads cut off, like running around. Like, I don't really know. It's like maybe they'll figure it out, maybe they won't. Like,
it's kind of a weird place when it's like Sam is making the most sense out of everybody in a roundtable situation.
You know where Ciara fucked up? I was thinking about this morning because I was like, it just dawned on me. So let me know if I'm wrong.
Okay.
But she got the shield, right?
Yeah.
And she hid it. Now, some people on her team knew that she had the shield, but if at some point in the round table, she would have been like, guys, I haven't said anything because I'm trying to like suss out a traitor, but I have the shield. I felt like that would have helped her cause. It doesn't make sense that if you're a traitor, that you would.
Well, a lot of traitors get the shield, so they seem less
yeah.
like traitors.
No,
I
not
feel like-
that she had the shield, but I'm saying that she hid it from the traitors.
Yeah, that's a really good point. She definitely should
At
have said
some
that.
point, I feel like she should have
that's-
owned up to that.
That would have been a really good case.
Maybe
for
like
her.
right before they vote. Like,
No,
I actually
she
have the
should-
shield.
The way where she messed up was not pinning it on anyone else directly. They had she gave no one else a like,
Yeah.
oh, well, what about? She just was like, well, Brittany, you're sketchy, and Danielle, like someone else said your name.
Yeah, she had to make the case.
Yeah.
Like, Rob would be like, remember when they did this? Well, they did this because, he's seeing
he
the
was
moves.
he was so blatant where I was like, I just can't. These people are so stupid.
I think that there's editing though.
I don't know. They're just all like, oh, that really does make sense. And it's like when they got Wes out, which was like, you can take Wes out based on like some like a few weird personality traits, or Rob with like a mound of evidence. They're like, I think maybe like this guy because he's been a little bit weird.
He's kind of an asshole.
Yeah.
I don't like him.
Would you do it?
You know what? I would.
You should do it.
Like, I think I actually would. Would you?
Yes, someday if I can. It's tough for the
Would
show.
you? Like, you guys could
Yeah.
both do it.
Yeah, that would be fun. Could you imagine if we both were there and like you were the traitor and I was the faithful?
You guys should
and I
do
had
it
to,
together.
Like, vote you out. I had to be like, wait, I think it's my husband. Everyone.
You really
That would
got.
be
You really should do it
crazy.
together.
You would be so mad at me if I voted you out.
Oh my god, I would.
But
divorce
that's the thing is, you wouldn't have a
immediately.
choice. Like, you'd have to vote. Well, that's what's annoying about this game is that like you vote her out and you're like, see, like why would I do that? And then they're like, because you don't want us to see, whatever. And then it's like, if I was a traitor, I would have kicked her out because
Yeah.
I want people to know that I'm not a traitor. So you can say anything, and it's like
It is crazy.
it's a
Peacock,
viable thing.
Cazzie David said she would do your show if you're listening.
Yeah, I think soon enough my career will be at a place where I should go on Traitors.
No, Traitors is elevating, Cazzie. Like,
No, exactly.
It's not.
You guys,
it's-
your career and
That's
Traitors
what
are
I'm
gonna
saying,
Make,
yeah.
you're big enough. I'm sorry, you're being self-deprecating again. I can't keep up.
back to your like where they should like produce more. I do think in the beginning, like they should produce with the like murders. Like they should be able to tell the traitors not that like with Dorinda. Like
Yeah,
we don't need to
that's
kill
what I'm
Dorinda
saying,
right
yeah.
now. Like she's good TV. She's funny. Let's keep her around a little longer. Pick someone else. Like they could have
They
definitely.
could have, yeah.
You know.
I
Like,
mean, the
for
fact
people
that
like
we're
that.
currently watching Sam whatever and Tom whatever,
Yeah.
it's like I just don't. I wouldn't put that show on. You know, like like stupid people playing a game. Like I wouldn't really watch
It
that.
was.
I
funny
do
to
say I
watch.
would. I love Ciara. I think
I
she
do
is
too,
like
yeah.
beyond gorgeous and chic and smart.
I know.
Mhm.
And I love Gabby.
Yeah.
Yes.
And everyone else, I'm just kind of like
And Dylan?
Dylan's sweet and like sometimes he's on the money, but other times it's just like it's like so random,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
It's like,
And, like,
it's so hit or
like,
miss.
He's been wrong
the
a
rest
few
of
times.
Yeah.
the rest of the game players, which are Danielle, Brittany, and Carolyn,
Yeah.
they're just they're not good enough game players to make you feel like
Right. And sometimes I'm really rooting for the traitors, you
Mhm.
know?
Yeah.
Like because they have the hardest job in the whole show by
Mhm.
far. So you kind of are like hoping the best for them.
I feel like the traitors have the best chance to go. Like, I think if you're a traitor, you're almost guaranteed to go a little far. You have better odds to go further, but it's almost impossible to win. I
Mhm.
feel like.
Yeah. That's interesting.
Were CT and Trishelle?
Then when they were both
Faithfuls?
faithful.
Okay.
Yeah.
Also,
it's-
MJ.
Yeah, I knew she was.
They did her dirty.
They really did.
Oh my God, MJ.
Yeah,
I forgot
justice for
about that.
MJ.
Yeah.
What happened? They turned on
They
it?
sold her
They sold her
out.
out.
They voted out
And,
Kate
yeah.
Chastain, and then they were like, "Oh, let's do another person."
They're gonna split 3 ways, and they're like, actually,
no,
No.
we're not.
Yeah.
But it's like I'm not really rooting for Danielle or Carolyn. I
Neither,
just
yeah.
don't really care.
I mean, them fighting every turret meeting where it's just like,
Yeah.
y'all might as well just rock paper scissors,
It's a
murder one of you.
disaster. It's a
Yeah.
disaster. But what do you guys think they're going to do? Do you think they're going to recruit someone? And if they were to, like, what is the smart thing for them to do at this point?
Well, right. So it ended with them fighting about that.
Brittany,
About
right?
about
Is that her
Brittany.
name? Yeah.
Danielle wants Brittany, and
I think the
Carolyn's
smart
like,
move
absolutely not.
is to try to recruit someone.
Yeah.
Because like Danielle said, I mean,
You want to be able to throw someone.
they're
under
they're
the bus
pretty
at some point,
confident.
too.
One of the traitors is at least one woman. They're right about that. Their only traitors are 2.
Well, the thing is, like, Danielle's playing an emotional game right now where it's like it would actually make the most sense to have Brittany in, not because she's your best friend, but because people are already looking at her
Yeah.
as a traitor. That I'm like, if they do vote her out in the next roundtable and she became a traitor, then it looks like you guys are actually onto something, or we got one of the 2 women that we're thinking are traitors out. But Danielle wants Brittany on as a traitor, as like as a teammate, and that's not going to work if you're trying
Yeah.
to protect her.
Like
Well,
Carolyn ultimately like is right to not trust that
totally.
situation, even though I'm like, that is your only option.
I think
Right.
Caroline. Well, see, I think Caroline's making an emotional decision as well because it's just more like she's just kind of like, you lied to me, fuck you.
Yeah,
Like she's
yeah.
just like, I can't trust you. They both need to compromise. I think Caroline should compromise and invite someone in, like try to seduce a faithful, but that person should be Gabby.
I just don't think any of them are really going to help their game that much is the thing.
Yeah.
You don't
Gabby
think
is
I think Gabby
Gabby's the
could do
smart
it.
Gabby's the only Gabby's really the only option.
Gabby, if Gabby wanted to put the gamer head on, she
Yeah.
could
Mhm.
totally do it.
Totally.
I
But
think and she could have fun with it too. And now because like, Chriselle's gone, all the Bambi girls are gone. So if
Mhm.
you're Gabby, you're like, fuck it. I have no loyalty to anyone here. Like,
Yeah.
why not?
Yeah.
That's true.
Wasn't it that if you get recruited though and you say no, do you get murdered?
I don't think so. No.
No, but like there's always a choice of like, do you say something? Do you not say something?
Yeah.
Yeah, like,
because they're going to
okay.
tell that, they will say, well, because no one will get murdered, right? If you get seduced someone, no one's murdered. So they'll find out no one's murdered. And then like,
They'll be like, oh, well, someone must
someone
have
got
been recruited.
seduced or like,
Seduced.
recruited, whatever. I don't know.
That's what
Wow.
Alan said.
Someone had sex. We don't know who it was.
No, it's at Castle,
Yeah.
But
But it is simultaneously like it started out as like the best season and the worst season that there's been, I feel like.
Why the worst?
Because the traitors are
Because of
fighting.
what's
Yeah,
because of
yeah.
just like how they played and like who the traitors were. From
What
the
did you
jump.
think of Tom Sandoval in the dollhouse?
I mean, that was just like incredible TV.
It was
Like that was so funny.
He was
I-
like there was not 1 ounce of him that thought it was like funny or a joke. He was like, "This is the most serious thing I've ever done."
No,
I
everything he
mean,
does
like-
is 100% serious.
when he was running, holding that tune.
Yeah.
like as he was
Like
holding
as
on
if
to a
that
baby
as
for
if
dear
that
life.
does anything. Yeah.
Yeah. Like I don't. Does that even do
Say what
anything?
you want, but I'm like, it's making him more endearing in my eyes. I'm not gonna lie. The fact that like, they would not have gotten through that challenge without him
Yeah.
being
that's
so like,
fair.
No, listen. I have a soft spot for Tom.
he's growing one for during this whole process.
After doing special
yeah.
forces with them, he's an
Yeah,
an
you have a
absolute-
soft spot for him because you realize how truly stupid he
Yeah.
is. And you're like,
He's a-
I have no choice but to feel bad for this
He's
person.
an imperfect person who is. He's only capable of so much.
Yeah, he isn't capable of more than what he has done and what he does.
Part is like I can't be that mad at him because like he can't be that evil. He's not capable of it.
yeah.
Like
Well, he's too stupid to even know what he's doing is that evil.
like his statement at the round table. about the like what did he
was
say?
that?
Also, generally speaking, and historically, girls are better cheaters than
Yeah,
guys
that
just
was
because
so
they have better
good.
social
Yeah.
skills.
And he was like, I didn't mean it like that.
Traitors.
He's like, no, for sure, guys cheat more.
So
I
dumb.
would know. Guys cheat more.
So dumb.
Oh
So
my
dumb.
God, he-
But yeah, all my favorite people are gone, and even the people I hated. Like I did want Boston Rob out, but I'm now mad he's gone because I'm just.
Same.
But at a certain point, it was like all of them and just Boston Rob. It was like this is just a cult. We're just watching one person, like one smart person,
Yeah.
manipulate.
Because it
10
is like if he
people.
would have lasted another roundtable, it would have been like, okay, like y'all have to be so fucking stupid. Like seriously, after it's been like 4 rounds of a roundtable where it's Boston
Yeah.
Rob and someone else, and like
It's not
I still can't
interesting.
get it.
There needed to be like Derek's still there. Or
You,
something
you make a
else.
good point, and that's I think that shows a weakness of the show. The gamers were there to like focus on TV, and that's why Rob was speaking up, and that's why like Bob the drag queen was speaking up because like they wanted to make TV, but no one else would say anything, so they had like too much attention on there, too much heat.
What I will say though, it's not even just about TV, but like for the sake of the game, like Mafia isn't fun when it's just like actually a bunch of idiots and like one person just being like, this is easy. you know?
yeah.
If you play Mafia, like you need people who are good at the game.
But also the game players are so used to like competing for like a final prize and having like an incentive where you have the housewives and whatnot that are just like paid for drama, but like they don't know how to get to like the final round. For some of them, this is their first game they've ever played. So it's like, to your point, the gamers are like know how to be strategic to get to the end, but like a lot of the housewives and people are like, well, I don't really know who.
Well, Phaedra was one of the
Yeah.
best traders ever.
lawyer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
great.
But like, that's what I'm saying. Is like, there's just some people who have those skills.
Yeah.
Would you want to be a traitor or a faithful?
A faithful. I would never want to be a traitor. Oh my
Why?
God. Why?
Yeah.
Isn't it obvious? It's like, I don't want to feel like I've murdered someone and like the cops are after me like every single day.
You'd be crying
You
every
would be tough
breakfast.
though
Jesus,
because you have
too
a
much
very
anxiety.
like constant like energy.
I think I would get out quickly because people would think I'm a traitor, even though I.
The whole
it's
like
just
your
because I-
energy's weird.
Yeah, I would totally get out.
For
like,
sure, it would be
bad
like your
energy.
vibes are off. Yeah.
For sure.
I'm
like
honestly-
first round.
I'm honestly shocked that the whole, I mean, Sam's like strategy of, well, let's see who didn't know what Alan was wearing because that's got to be the traitor.
That was smart.
Was genius.
Yeah.
Why did they not like
I know.
catch on to Carolyn's hesitancy?
I know that was so stupid.
'Cause
And
you
they were
had Tom
like,
Sandoval.
yeah, it almost worked, but it didn't. It's like,
It
No, it
kind of
did.
did.
Yeah, it
Y'all
totally
just
worked.
aren't listening.
But then you
It
had
sounds
Tom
like she
Sandoval being like,
ruined it.
yeah.
no,
I,
he was wearing.
I thought Bob the drag queen was so incredible, and I was really upset that I'm upset that he's not in the game anymore.
I thought
So
he
you're
was
mad at Rob.
so.
yeah.
I thought he was so performative that it was like so obvious that he was a traitor.
No,
though.
I actually
Really?
didn't. I thought he played an amazing game. Yeah. Because when you're a traitor, you're actually not that outspoken. Like it's kind of crazy to be that outspoken as a traitor.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
very brave.
Yeah,
I guess that's what I would think.
Yeah, if Rob
don't
didn't
know.
call him out, he wasn't going home.
Yeah, no
that's
way.
true. That's true.
It was like it was literally Dylan on an island alone.
Right.
And
Yeah.
like the fact that Danielle's made it so far is also shocking to me.
I know that day that she kept putting everyone else's faces on the thing.
Yeah.
I was like,
She's always
everyone's-
just twitching. She's
Yeah.
always like crying.
and everyone was like, "That's crazy!" Like that was a huge thing. Like, whoa! Like, why is she doing this? And then nothing ever came from.
I think
it.
Derek said when we interviewed Derek, he was like, being like, she's just so emotional. At some point, you got to be like, why is she still crying? And he was like, but the thing is, she was like that from the start. Like it was like, she was consistent with these emotions. So it was like,
Was he touched how bad she felt about?
yeah.
Yeah.
It is annoying how loyal she is to her friends. You're a traitor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
As a traitor.
You know,
Yeah.
your wife's not there.
Yeah. Well, we'll see what happens like as the game goes on. I mean, she's gonna have to at some point betray her friends.
Someone,
She's
Yeah.
gonna have to. So who do we have left? We have
Carolyn, Sam, Dolores, Dylan, Gabby, Sandoval, Ivor, Danielle,
Oh my god.
Brittany, and then Ciara went home.
Worst game ever.
if they
Yes.
don't
Like, truly the
recruit one,
worst-
if they don't
worst
keep
people ever.
Gabby or Brittany, they're gonna kill a guy for sure.
Uh-huh.
Because there's no point in killing a girl. that
And they're going to
ruined-
kill Sam because he's like too on the nose. I think that whole like
The-
Carolyn
the fact that
thing-
Sam is the one on the nose, like that shows you how dumb this group
That's what I'm
is.
saying. He's the smartest one in the group
It's like
right
we
now.
the
Oh, we
fact
did-
that they're
we
going to be in the
interviewed
trip being
Sam
like
and
we
he's-
have to get rid of Sam.
he's
Like
not-
he's a threat.
He's not as
He said that he like played into the like dumb model to
Yeah.
like scathe by.
Did he say that?
Yeah, he's
on
not,
here when we interviewed him. Yeah.
Okay, interesting.
He's not not a gamer. He didn't like come in. I think he's pretty smart. He's just showing up to like update his brand. You know, like he's not coming to win Traitors. I don't think he gives a fuck about the show.
What is he coming on for?
You
Like,
know,
I'm
just
still here. Hey,
Exposure.
guys.
probably yeah.
Yeah.
Little
Yeah.
limelight.
But I'm also like, if they get rid of Sam, then I'm like, wouldn't it just instantly put a target on Carolyn's back? Because his whole gameplay was to try to see if she knew what Alan's outfit was.
Like I'd say yes, but these people can't
They're
think
so
of
stupid.
anything.
Yeah, they would
They
never
had,
remember that.
they had Caroline
They
right
can
there. And
do
they just let her
whatever
go.
they want. It's not going
And
to
they all
matter.
said, Ciara, it was you, unanimously.
Carolyn could say, I am a traitor. And they'd be like, you're so funny.
Yeah. They'd
She's
be
so
like, I
quirky.
still think it might be Dylan.
You're such a trickster.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I don't even care what happens at
Who
this
do you
point.
think wins?
Like it doesn't even matter. Like whoever wins doesn't even deserve it. Do you know what I mean? Like it's not because they played an amazing game. So therefore, like
Yeah.
the winner is like not even a winner.
That is a little frustrating with this, and I think Rob was mentioning this, that like there's almost too many variables they can't control. Rob was talking about game theory. Like
What did he say? I should have listened.
he
to
was
the
just
episode.
talking about like if I would have went after Wes, then I had to think about, it's always like he's always thinking 3 or 4 steps ahead.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
he's just talking about just like if you do this, there's a theory behind this, and there's immense amount of strategy behind the moves that they're making. They're
Totally.
not voting for like their friends because they want to save someone, or they're not voting for someone. Sometimes they would go with the majority because that's a strategy,
Mhm.
but there's always a strategy. And
Yeah.
like most of these people, to your point, they're not strategizing. They're just they're all surviving. Most
Yeah.
people are there to survive, not strategize how to make moves.
Yeah. I mean, it's my favorite show. You know?
Sounds like it.
Like it really, I know I'm frustrated, but like it really is it's like I look forward to it in a way I've never felt for anything.
I really want to see it go on.
Yeah. I mean, we're going to have me back on for the next season so we can actually have something, of substance to
Yeah.
talk about.
It is crazy how Tom Sandoval carried a whole episode of Traitors.
Yeah.
Well, because sometimes you just need to laugh.
Well, he's the only person in the castle that's musically inclined. So
Who was
He
your
is the only
guys'
person.
favorite, like before everyone good died?
Yeah. I mean, it was really fun to watch Boston Rob just because the way he's able to gameplay was just incredible.
Yeah.
But I mean, I wish Chanel Ion would have stuck around a little longer.
Hmm.
Her tweets since she's been off
I haven't seen them.
are so funny.
Pretty unhinged. It's pretty great.
I wish we got to see more of Derek's gameplay, to be honest.
Yeah,
Because I think he was like the smartest one, knowing what he was like watching in people to call out. But
Chanel thought everyone from Survivor was because they had survived a disease. She said.
No, I hate that. I really hate that. I loved Wes, like,
Yeah.
and Bob the Drag Queen was incredible.
Wes, when he
Um,
like threatened to like murder all the girls who
Yeah, that
get
was
his
just-
revenge.
That was a disaster. That
Do you
was
watch
a true
Challenge?
disaster. No, I've never seen it.
oh, okay, he's like really big on that, and that's pretty much like his style. So it's like seeing how his style works for the challenge, but doesn't work in Traitors, where it's like you can threaten, do whatever, but like I dare you guys to give me up, but if you don't, Traitors, they were like, no, we're not even gonna
Yeah.
take time.
What is the like, and to not bore anyone, but like, what is like a really short synopsis of the challenge? Like, what is that show about?
Yeah, I've
Uh,
actually never seen it.
Yeah,
It's
like,
a
what? It sounds
bunch-
sick though.
It used to be like a bunch of like MTV people from the real world and Road Rules Challenge, and then it's evolved since. But they're like dropped down in like Bali or whatever, and they do physically strenuous games where people get down in the bottom and then people get voted out. But it's a lot of like negotiating and trying to an allyship and whatnot. So it's like a lot of manipulation, but it's also a lot of like physical strength that's exerted.
Yeah, I hate the physical stuff.
Was
Like,
Wes
I can't
on?
watch that.
Was
I
Wes
used to
on
skip through the
Housewives or
challenges
Housewives,
sometimes,
Real World?
He was on Real World, either Houston or Dallas. It was a Texas version back in like 2000. I don't know. It's 8, 7.
Wow.
I watched it in high school.
Okay, then what is Big Brother? Is that just manipulation?
A Big Brother I never watched an episode of. I just know it's a bunch of people living in a house and that you can get voted out that way. And it's like you're being watched 24/7.
Like maybe we should just get really into Big Brother, you know? Like none of your listeners care, but we just like love it.
Some of them watch it. But
Files Plus?
yeah, maybe. Do you want to stick around and interview some Love is Blind and Bachelor people, or do you want to get out of here?
I could, I just haven't watched any of it. It's up to you. You guys can like, I don't like, I'm not going to be like, yeah, I'll stay. And you guys be like, fuck.
Oh my God,
stay
stick around.
here.
Stick around. Do you care about Paige and Craig's breakup at all? Are you following that?
I'm not following that.
I'm curious. I really would love your opinion.
I watched the third episode of The Bachelor, the one before.
Oh,
yeah.
great.
That's so random. Why?
Because I was coming on and I thought
do you
maybe
think,
you were going to send
do you
me the
think
thing.
Rose? Yeah, I don't care. Are you Team Rose or Team Caroline?
Carolina. She's like, I watched it. Who are those people?
Wait, so I don't understand the dance thing. Like, what
oh,
happened?
yeah,
with
because she didn't
that?
see the dance.
Well, explain
But
that.
but I
to me.
heard that there was like murmurs of it, and I said that's
So-
interesting. I'd love to know what happened.
There was a group date.
Yeah.
In between the group date, there was a arbitrary winner, as they
Okay.
often do. And so that girl was Carolina, and she got to dance with Grant in front of the other women on the group date.
Okay.
And at the end of the dance, she decided to like sit him on a couch, straddle him, and suck his face like real hard.
Carolina did.
Yeah,
Mhm.
Carolina.
Okay.
in front of everyone.
Yeah, she cries a lot. She's become the villain of the season. And there's this other girl named
I would
Rose.
have never suspected that because I watched one episode and I was like, oh, this girl's great. And that's the problem is you really do need to watch all of
Yeah.
them to
Yeah.
understand their psychology in a huge way.
Yeah.
You
Then
can't just get
apparently
like a brief-
Carolina and Rose had a conversation, and then at some point, according to Carolina, who went back to Grant and tattled on Rose, Rose said that Grant told her that he was thinking about Rose when he was dancing with Carolina. Which,
And did Rose say that?
Rose didn't really remember? She was like, I might have said
But
that.
wouldn't
I
it have
don't-
wouldn't we have seen that happen?
Well, we did.
So we did, and he just said, like, listen, like, I'm always thinking of you, like, even with like dancing today, like, you know, I'm always thinking of you guys.
And then what did she say to
And Carolina repeated it back to Grant as if he said, Rose, while I was dancing and
Yeah,
sucking
but
face with
Rose still
Carolina,
shouldn't
I
have
was
said
thinking of
anything to
you."
Carolina. Like what in what
Exactly.
situation was Rose like, yeah, he says he's thinking about me all the time. That's the worst thing about The Bachelor is when they like tell each other
Yes.
like
Nick
Good.
is so
The
happy you're on
compliments
his
they're
side.
given.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Cazzie.
I really hate that. It is hard, I will say. Like I was a big Bachelor head. It's hard after Love Island
It
to
is.
watch
Yeah.
one
The
single
stakes
couple.
are so much different.
It's just like, and it feels just way less real in a way that's like not as, yeah, the stakes are definitely different.
Well, the stakes are still pretty high in Love is Blind. Just stick around.
Okay.
Great. All right, Cazzie's going to stay with us. We have Dave from Love is Blind coming up next, and we'll discuss with him the first 3 episodes of Love is Blind. I know there's 6 out right now, but we got Reality Recap on Thursday, so we'll cover the episodes 4, 5, and 6 on Thursday's episode of Reality Recap, and the new batch comes out after that, and we'll keep on covering. All right, so let's get to Dave. During these cold winter months, there's no better combination for a cozy night in than good company, and it's even better with a delicious bottle of wine. And that's why we are members of First Leaf. With First Leaf, not only do we get to enjoy personalized wine just for us, but we get to have fantastic bottles on hand to share with our friends and family or just with ourselves when we like spending so much time together.
First Leaf is great at picking out wines based on your preferences. They're also the go-to for special occasion wines like sparkling wines. Getting started with First Leaf is a breeze. You just answer a few quick questions about your wine preferences on their site, and they put together an amazing assortment of top-notch wines just for you, and it gets delivered right to your door. One of the best parts about First Leaf is how they let you control your delivery schedule so you can choose exactly when your wine arrives so you never have to worry about missing a delivery, and it's super convenient. Plus, if you get a bottle that you don't absolutely love, it's not a problem because First Leaf has a 100% satisfaction guarantee.
There's so many great selections that First Leaf introduces you to. If you're like me, before I got First Leaf, I was always just buying because of the labels. I really just I had no idea what I was getting, honestly. But with First Leaf, they're introducing you some great tasting wines, like their aromatherapy, their Sauvignon Blanc that has notes of pineapple, honeyed grapefruit. Either way, it's delicious. I love it. It's my new fave. So many great features about First Leaf, but one of my favorites is they deliver it right to your door, and no longer you have to lug heavy wine bottles from the grocery store to your home. They deliver it right there when you need it, so you can be ready to enjoy First Leaf when you want it.
Make every cozy night in special with wines from First Leaf that you know you'll love. Go to tryfirstleaf.com/VIALL to sign up, and you'll get your first 6 handpicked hand-picked bottles for just $44.95. 6 bottles.
Yeah.
Sorry, just need to emphasize that. 6 bottles for $44.95.
Even for someone who's not good at math, she knows that's a lot.
I do.
That's tryfirstleaf.com, spelled tryfirstleaf.com/VIALL. Tryfirstleaf.com/VIALL.
Go to tryfirstleaf.com/VIALL. Today's episode of The Viall Files is sponsored by Dreamland Baby. Dreamland Baby's weighted sleep sack is a must-have if you are new into parenthood.
All the new parents out there, do yourself a favor. Get yourself a Dreamland Baby's weighted sleep sack. It's like a third parent. It's really great.
It really is. It is evenly distributed weight from shoulders to toes, exclusive to Dreamland Baby products. It has a 2-way zipper. It gives your baby a deeper sleep, so therefore you sleep better when your baby sleeps better. We love that. It has a super soft material, so it holds up well after the wash. They use quality materials, super soft, 100% soft and natural cotton, so it holds up very well after you wash it.
Very easy to wash because obviously with new babies, sometimes accidents happen, but you just throw it in the washing machine, no problem. It's ready to go for another amazing night of sleep for your new lovely baby. We couldn't live without it, and you can't either. Get that Dreamland weighted baby sleep sack. Go to dreamlandbabyco.com and enter promo code VIALL at checkout to receive 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. This offer is for new and existing customers. Again, that's dreamlandbabyco.com and enter our code VIALL to receive 20% off site-wide plus free shipping. Dave!
Hey.
How's it going? Welcome to the show. Are you enjoying the first couple episodes of this season? Are you staying offline? Hope so.
Trying, staying off like the interweb stuff for sure. It's been interesting. You know, it was a kind of a tough weekend, not gonna lie, but it was kind of a shock. Like I was sitting there I was so curious to see everybody else in the pods and like see what they have to say and things like that. And I heard there was like a lot of shit that went down, and then all of a sudden they just focused on me a lot. So I wasn't really prepared for that, but overall it's been okay.
What shit went down that we didn't get to see?
I think I gotta hold off on that.
Boring.
Just some other stuff. I know I'm sure it'll come out at the reunion and stuff. So like I just heard there was a lot of stuff with these other couples that they just chose not to show.
Okay. Well, I'm assuming you're referring to the stuff they decided to show of yours, specifically probably around some of your jokes that, depending on who you are, landed or didn't land. Do you want to address them, or probably the 30-year-old women joke probably pissed people off?
I personally think it's really funny.
You know, the crazy thing about that is like people, like if you kind of understand that humor or whatever, like people could tell it was a joke. It was, and like Lauren, like I think she handled it really well, and we kind of like connected after that and hit it off. So I just you know, I'm happy I approached it the way I did, because like it landed with a lot of the women, honestly, and it made things fun. And I have a personality, so I was happy to like show that side of me. And it also like weeded out a lot of the people that I didn't connect with. So it kind of like helped me get there a little bit quicker. And I like to keep things light, you know, keep it fun. And honestly, that came out like in the speed date like portion right away. So yeah, I mean, I was just trying to have some fun with it and see who I connected with.
Gotcha. Do you think you can take it as well as you can give it?
Ooh, yeah, I think so. But I'm kind of quickly learning that it's harder than I think.
Okay. Were there some other jokes on there that you shared that didn't get aired? Maybe some better ones? You're like, they showed that one, but what about this one?
This one we were really laughing.
I mean, I talked a lot. You're in those pods like for hours on end, and like there's just a lot of stuff you talk about. So, but no, again, like I think that's a really important piece of like a partner that I was looking for, and I want to be able to have fun with that partner, and I feel like I just wanted to be myself and just make sure people understood me for me.
And David, I don't watch the show, but I just wanted to know, like, what compelled you to do something like this?
They show me talking about like Botox filler, you know, stuff like that a lot, and I was in that industry at the time, and there's nothing wrong with a little Botox here and there. Like I'm a fan of that, but yeah, to go on the show, like it was a big part of like I've known I've been shallow in the past, and I really don't want to be like that. And I feel like I talked a lot about how I want to be, you know, the person I know I can be, and when it comes to looks and loving someone for the right reasons. And I was thinking a lot about that when I got there, and honestly, I didn't really know what to expect. I kind of just went in open-minded and just I knew I'd make a few connections, and I didn't expect to go as far as I ended up going.
And you can always give them Botox and filler after.
That is true. That is true.
True, but that's up to them.
I hope so.
Who else? Were there anyone that you had dates with that we didn't get to see?
Yeah, I actually dated Taylor for a very long time. We had a lot of fun in the pods together, and I guess that, there's a lot of stories they have to tell, and they didn't really show that part. But it was actually kind of tough when we ended things. I think Taylor's awesome, and but yeah, we dated for quite a while, and it's always funny looking back on that, knowing like I had no idea like she had such a strong connection with Daniel. Like you just have no clue because the guys didn't really talk about it.
Did you get to know Madison much at all?
I did not. Madison that's a wild situation. I guess that's somebody I was referring to. Like, I was curious to see more of what she had to say in those pods. But no, she was the first date I had. And I thought she was very normal and cool and didn't have anything bad to say, but sounds like there's a lot of other, things going on there.
Yeah.
I wonder if maybe we just haven't gotten there yet.
You said in the pods that your sister wasn't thrilled about you coming on the show. What was her take on this last drop and of you being on the show?
Yeah, I mean, I think she's kind of just taking it in stride. I think that's just such a funny, and like the internet is just insane because like apparently having a good relationship with your sister is a bad thing. Like, yeah, sorry, she's cool, whatever. But I think she's doing okay. I feel like if she was struggling with it, she would have been like talking to me and texting me a lot. But I think she's doing all right.
Is it cringy? And I don't ask like in a judgmental way. I ask because I would be cringed out watching myself flirt and try to like use pickup lines on people. Did you feel that way about yourself, where you're like, damn, I got it, I'm pretty swaggy?
It's actually like, it's funny you say that. Like, it's so hard to focus. Like, you're so like kind of excited to watch. You're also like nervous. So you pick up on things. I'll probably have to rewatch it, honestly, because I watched all 6 with Devin, and it's just hard. Like you're just kind of distracted while you're watching it. But no, again, like I think I just tried to have a personality in the pods, and people can take that in a negative light if they want. But I mean, I was just trying to have some fun. I remember going into the pods like, oh, the pods are open. The guys, like some of them would ask, like, Dave, what's your plan? And I'm like, my plan? Like, what do you mean? I'm just going to go in, be myself and see what happens. You only get like 8 to 10 minutes with each person. So you got to keep it light.
Were you surprised that you started developing feelings?
Oh, absolutely. I was completely thrown off. That was like one of the harder parts to watch back and have these kind of feelings and emotions come back. Like going into that, I think I already mentioned this, but I thought I'd be there for a couple days, didn't really expect much. And I ended up just like really buying into the process and the experiment in general. And it was good overall. Like, not only the connections I made, but like the growth that I had individually, just like kind of going through that process and making sure I was being, open, honest, and just raw, being my real self. It was kind of refreshing, but it was very hard to go through. It was a lot harder than I expected.
I feel like the next kind of batch is like the honeymoon vacation phase. Obviously, you were there in real time. You know what happened. Usually that's when things start to get a little messy. Are you nervous to watch those episodes come out, or are you kind of like, no, I'm good?
No, honestly, no. I feel like, me and Lauren had a blast on the getaway. So I am curious, but again, like I thought this going into the first batch, I kind of had that feeling too. And then it was like, oh, never mind. You're kind of like the focus of the show.
Did you have any more jokes down there, or?
Probably. I mean, I don't know. I like to joke around. Like, life's short, man. You got to have fun with it and not get bogged down by all the craziness and stuff.
I agree with you.
But no,
true.
I mean, we had
So
so much fun, and I'm excited to watch some of the just the events and like things that we did, because it was really fun. Yeah, no, not really. I think there are a few moments where we talk about like physical stuff. I can't give anything away yet, but there are a few moments where I'm like probably pushing that on some of the other people, just trying to figure out where they're at. So hopefully they don't focus too much on that.
I feel like that's usual. That happens every season. Everyone kind of tries to suss out who else is fucking,
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like it's a very normal conversation to have, and some people think it's weird. I think it's 33 now, 33, it shouldn't be weird to talk about that.
Period.
You're only 33. What's with the 30-year-old jokes? You're in your early 30s.
That's why I thought it was funny. Like,
I guess.
I don't judge anyone for that. I'm older too. I don't give a shit.
Men aren't really attractive until they reach at least 36.
So true.
Yeah.
I met Nick at 37.
So,
It's so true.
So what do I got to do in the next 3 years?
you
just
look
have
great,
to
man.
wait.
You look great.
You just have to wait.
wait.
Just a waiting game, honestly.
Do we have any more questions for Dave?
I don't think so. I'm excited to watch the season unfold, though.
Dave, really appreciate your time. I know that you're at work or you took some time off to talk with us, so I appreciate you taking the time. And best of luck the rest of the way. Stay off the internet. Don't read your comments, and you'll be just fine, buddy.
Got it. Thank you. I appreciate it as well. Hopefully it doesn't disappoint the rest of the way.
Thank
You'll be
you,
great.
Dave.
All right, take care, bud.
Thank you. Yep. See ya.
I think what you guys do is actually like it's so much more than a podcast because you're giving these people who are on these reality shows, a chance to either redeem themselves or explain themselves. And like, who else is doing that in this way where it's like you have people coming in like.
Thank you, Cazzie.
I just think it's really nice, especially like imagine like what it does to their mental health.
How do you think Dave did?
I don't know. I'm honestly like I have to go.
No, you're here for the long haul now.
Yeah, sorry, we actually locked the door.
So
Unfortunately,
funny.
won't be able to leave. I feel like he definitely 100% regrets making that joke. It's like that's the only thing that people are shitting on him for. And he's like, it was 1 second. I thought it was funny. She kind of laughed in the moment. Like, it's really not that big of a deal.
He
And
said it
everyone's
twice.
like, you're such a dick.
I'd like to know if he was actually joking.
He was definitely joking, but like,
I just want to see his timing,
But it's like maybe it was just like his icebreaker, and it's kind of a good way to tell if someone's sensitive or not. They're not going to get your sense of humor.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think it's that offensive.
Yeah.
I think it's like
it's not that big of a deal
hilarious.
for sure.
Yeah, like it sounds like a joke I would make.
He said it was such, and I guess you probably would too, just like with such a straight face.
Yeah,
and
well,
like,
that's the only way to land it.
Yeah,
Oh, he landed.
he definitely landed.
Do you want to talk about Madison?
Madison is triggering me. It reminds me of every relationship I had in my 20s, early 30s.
Why?
Well, because so Cazzie,
Yeah, I'm seeing
Madison
her face.
is dating Alex. Alex, upper left.
Yeah, I see him.
And Mason.
She tells Mason, there's something you need to
Well,
know.
it's so clear just from their photos that she should be with Ben.
Yeah.
So
That is true.
She tells
or
Mason
Daniel.
that there's something he needs to know about her nipples, and it is that they're pierced. She did feel the need to make sure that was. It was like, before
Mhm.
you propose to me, you have to know my nipples
She's
are
also
pierced.
very open about.
Doesn't feel like something you.
She's also very open about her
Must share.
It
trauma.
was like a
She's
surprise.
like, I've had a lot of shit happen to me. And like, I can't tell you specifically what, because, we're on camera, but like, I hope you're okay with knowing I'm fucked up, but I can't tell you exactly how. And Alex's storyline is he's a handsome guy, but he talks about how growing up, he was the ugliest of ducklings, according to
He
himself.
said he had a big afro and braces and really bad acne, and he
Just
said that
bullied
he got
and
really
just
bullied.
it was
Yeah.
really and you really love this guy, right?
Mhm.
And so he's this very sweet, handsome guy, but has this gentle, sweet face.
Definitely could grow a beard, but yeah,
He could definitely use a girlfriend makeover for sure.
Yeah.
he wears a lot of the like mock neck turtlenecks.
Okay.
If that tells
Yeah,
you.
I'm seeing it in the
He's-
photo.
Yeah.
He's
you are.
falling in love with Madison, and it like I'm triggered by it because like Alex kind of reminds me of me when I was that age, and Madison reminds me of like every girl I pursued when I was that age, and it's like the person who is just like, I've done some work, so like I'm self-aware,
Yeah,
but I still have problems, and so like she is selling this like self-aware person who like
it's weird because like when you humanize the fact that you have or like whatever your issues are by being so honest about them, it actually like it's almost more manipulative because it does
No, yeah,
humanize you
no.
in such a like crazy way.
Yeah.
I think they're gonna end up together, Alex and Madison, and she's gonna fuck him up so bad.
That's what like I was thinking about while I was watching The Bachelor, which is like that's the difference between when there's so many women and one guy rather than all these guys and a woman, where it's like it's so hard to watch some of these women manipulate this guy,
Mhm.
Women are so much smarter than men. So it's
Obviously.
like when it's the men and there's like one woman, she's not really getting manipulated by them. Like maybe sometimes, but you always see on these seasons like one of these girls like really go for it and try to convince him. And almost like 9 out of 10 times he totally buys in.
It's so true.
It's
because
hard
the
to watch.
because
Yeah.
the Bachelors, they can't really question anyone, or they can't. Every season of the Bachelorette, there's always like it's like week 3, week 4. where some guy says something wrong and then she storms in where they're all standing there and she's like, listen up, motherfuckers. If you're not here for the right reason, there's the fucking door. And everyone's like, oh, what a queen. She's great. Oh, she's serious. And like the Bachelor's just always like, hey guys, we just want to be nice to each other and please like.
Well, it's like one girl telling on everyone and that with like a lie and him being like, if you guys don't start being nice to her, you know, I don't know. It's hard to watch.
It is hard to watch.
Yeah.
I found the moment.
You found it.
Oh my God. Good job.
So
I think that's hilarious.
I wish
That's
she would have
great.
had a
By the
better
way-
reaction.
By the way,
but
that's great.
Yeah.
He's immediately said, I'm joking. Like, you totally believe him. I thought that was a great joke. 10 out of 10.
He also made a joke right after saying he was on OnlyFans. So I'm like, I think this is just his icebreaker of showing his personality.
Yeah.
I actually thought that was a perfect joke.
No,
You know what the best part about that is?
that
is
I
though,
really
like,
laughed.
well, she's behind a screen. She can't see him, but
Yeah.
he still wrote down like still not attractive as if like she could see him. He really leaned into the bit.
Yeah.
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 So great.
He's like, and so still not attractive.
Very funny.
What do we think of Joey and Monica who got engaged
Oh my
episode
God.
2?
I love
I can't
that.
watch.
I was like,
Really?
that
I cannot
fast?
watch.
Who?
No,
Joey
I
and
can't.
Monica? Can't
They're
stand-
the
Get married. I don't care.
they were
I'll see
the
you at
Taylor
altar.
and Garrett for me in the
Tarzan.
beginning of last season, where it's like, okay, you're in love, we get it, you're gonna last forever. I don't care. Give me the drama.
Oh, it's so wholesome. So I
Their
love
accents
it.
are crazy.
Oh, this is from
What are their
They're
accents?
from Minneapolis.
Minnesota, yeah.
It's a latte, don't you know?
Oh, don't
Oh,
you know?
and theirs are really thick. The Joey and the Monica.
Some more than
They're both
others.
from
Yes,
the same
they're
place?
all from the same place.
That's kind of why this show is
Whoa.
great
Yeah.
because then they make them like live together. So it's like how their relationship would
But
take
have
the
they
next
always
step.
done that? I don't remember
Yeah.
them doing
It's
that.
always in the same
They
city.
did.
Not the first season, I don't
Yeah,
think.
they didn't do that. And not the
Yeah.
second season
They
either, I
did the
thought.
second season.
Really?
Mm.
Okay,
Yeah.
well that changes things a little bit. That makes the show, I guess, a little bit more
Because then you can like
believable.
still go to work and like live a normal life.
Yeah.
but
Well,
like
that's where
be
things
with-
go off the rails too, because it's like it is that like it's like, oh, I come home from work and I like to have a drink, and then this is when the fight starts, and it's like, and now I'm stressed and I'm back in my normal life. So
yeah,
it's
but
like,
it's not interesting because it's like, yeah, of course there's going to be problems. There's
Mhm.
problems when you don't meet someone like this.
right. But then when people are like normal and good and cool, nobody cares about them, and then everybody cares about the drama that does ensue. But there are healthy relationships that
I
actually
hate
do
this
come
show.
out of it.
I really hate this show. Like,
I love
so
this show.
so stupid.
When they propose to each other behind the screen, it's the worst and best moment of TV every season.
It's just like
It's like, are you standing? Are you kneeling? Yes. And the guy gets down on a knee and he looks at a wall and he proposes. And it's always, and then the girl will like go up to the wall and like touch the wall. Like it's
And then after they propose, then they have the big reveal where they have to like walk down the hallway and look at the person that they've formed this relationship. They're now their fiance and be like, did I make a mistake?
it's ridiculous. I also think the show would work just fine without them getting engaged. Like you don't actually need them to get engaged in order for
they get married,
to-
Cazzie.
Yeah,
They get
it's
married.
so
They get married.
stupid. It's so stupid.
We should have asked Dave what was on his sex playlist because he does admit to having a
Oh,
sex
yeah.
playlist. And like, if you're still playing music while fucking, honestly, get a life. At
You
this
have
point.
time.
Yeah, if you're like, hold on, let me find my morning
Let me
car
set the mood.
ride,
I kinda like
airplane
it.
vibes.
It's giving I'm in a movie.
Sex playlist.
It means you're a fuckboy. Like you're fucking.
If you have created a like, this is what I want to fuck to playlist, and you've spent time like picking out the songs,
Like you're not in a relationship.
You don't want to
You're-
be in like a movie scene though?
I've never done that with a girlfriend.
Who,
Okay.
girlfriend
That's
or
not true. You used to put
non-girlfriend?
on
Why are you
Cautious
doing
Clay.
it?
We were
you
just
used to say,
fucking.
Alexa, play Cautious Clay.
we were not
What is
boyfriend and
Cautious
girlfriend then.
Clay?
As soon as we were boyfriend and girlfriend.
That is Clay.
No, Cautious Clay is like
What is
that,
that?
like makes music for sex.
Yeah, he
Like
does.
it's like the weekend vibes. Like that is really, really fucked.
It really
I wish I
is.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
How's
Well,
the
he hasn't
start of your
asked
Monday
in a long
morning?
time, so it's fine.
I've lost that love and feeling.
You have.
Shut up.
I think if someone tried to put on music,
I'd
even
back
just
out.
before, not even without sex, I would.
Call the cops.
Yeah, I'd be upset.
I'm just like, what
Like
could be on
watching
there?
someone put on music, I find really embarrassing.
That is so true. Like them like,
Like
scrolling to find
making
a
a
song.
choice. You
No,
know,
hold on.
you either
This
have
one.
to have it playing before you walk in, so you don't have to think about it.
Right.
If you forget, you can't go back.
If it's a conversation
Yeah,
of
it's
like,
gonna be
should we put on
silent the
music?
rest
Could
of
you
the night.
imagine mid makeout stops? Hold on. Skip this song and skips to another one.
Or like, what is it? Like Genuine Pony? Like that's where I'm just like, what is on a sex jams list?
We should have asked him. That was a miss by us.
Oh my god.
Yeah, it's
honestly
Cautious
don't- I
Clay in
wouldn't
the
have wanted
Weekend.
to
That's
know.
what it is.
Yeah,
I can't think of anything else.
It's Jeremiah, like birthday sex.
Mm.
It's it's a lot like
Birthday
Lollipop
sex.
by Lil Wayne. it's a lot of that.
Well, it used to be LL Cool J back in the day.
Oh, good lord.
Mhm.
I actually
She's
do have to
leaving.
leave. Is that fine?
No.
It's like I know the choice was either like stay or go
No,
now.
let's,
The choice
no,
wasn't like you
no.
could stay for one and then leave, But that's what I did.
No,
So
you
is that
didn't fully
fine?
commit. Let's say goodbye to Cazzie. Bye, Cazzie. Yeah, everyone go watch her movie.
Thank you so much for
I
having
love you
me.
forever.
Love you guys forever. Thank you.
There's nothing worse than putting on a bra in the morning and being like, okay, I'm good. I'm ready to go. And then throughout the day, you're just like being stabbed with a wire or it's uncomfortable or like your nipples popping out. It's just none of it is good and none of it happens with Skims. Skims has some of the best intimate products on the market right now. There Fits Everybody Dipped Front Thong, there Fits Everybody Full Brief, Fits Everybody Boy Short, Fits Everybody Scoop Bralette, the Fits Everybody T-shirt bra are all some of my favorites. Honestly, postpartum, all I wore was the boy short because they were so comfortable and I was sick and tired of the diapers. The Fits Everybody T-shirt bra is the only underwire bra that doesn't dig or poke. You'll forget that you're wearing it. It truly is the perfect bra. I'm wearing it right now, in case you were curious. Skims is truly made with the most amazing and stretchy supported fabrics that keep me feeling comfortable and confident all day long. I cannot say enough about how amazing their products are. Nick is even obsessed with their underwear.
Yeah, ladies, get yourself something from Skims and don't be afraid to get the men in your life something as well, whether it's their undershirts or underwear. Skims truly has the best material. It's amazing how supportive and breathable it is all at the same time.
Shop Skims' best intimates, including the Fits Everybody collection and more at skims.com and Skims stores. After you place your order, be sure to let them know we sent you. Select podcast in the survey and be sure to select our show in the drop-down menu that follows. And if you're looking for the perfect gift for your Valentine or for yourself, Skims just launched their best Valentine's shop ever. Available in sizes for women, men, kids, and pets.
Sundays for Dogs supplies human-grade food ready to serve in seconds with zero fillers and zero synthetics. Only high-quality fresh meat and veggies air-dried to perfection. So, all you pet parents out there, if you love your dogs as much as Natalie and I love ours, make sure you're feeding them good, healthy food. And Sundays for Dogs is just that.
One of the best things is that it was actually co-founded by Dr. Tori Waxman, a practicing veterinarian who tests and formulates every single version of each recipe. Sundays contains 90% meat, 10% superfoods, and 0% synthetic nutrients or artificial ingredients. Dog parents report noticeable health improvements in their pups, including softer fur, fresher breath, better poops, and more energy after switching to Sundays. Sunday for Dogs is healthy dog food that's easy to store and serve.
Give yourself the peace of mind that your dogs are eating high-quality foods just like you so they can be with you as long as possible. Get 40% off your first order at Sundays. Go to sundaysfordogs.com/VIALL and use our code VIALL at checkout. Again, that's sundaysfordogs.com/VIALL.
Well, what's the worst thing to have on a sex playlist? Is what
Everything.
I
I
was
think Genuine
Anything.
Pony.
I think
Genuine
anything.
Pony.
Ethel
Any
Kane.
song.
Taylor Swift.
No,
No,
Taylor
any
Swift is
song.
good.
Any
Candy
song.
Taylor
Shop.
Swift a fuck to?
Reputation era.
Do you have a
I
sex playlist?
guess.
Like revenge
Look,
sex.
I don't have a playlist anymore, but I'm a big advocate for music. Well,
But when you were
Music
single,
is
when you were
good.
single and out there slinging it, you had a playlist. And then now that you're in
Slinging
love,
it.
you're just like, you don't.
but I also think it's good to like be in a movie at some point, like having sex during like a soundtrack. You
But
know?
they don't have music during the movie. They put that on after.
But like I
It's a
can.
post-production
But I
thing.
feel like I'm in the movie.
Understand the film process, Justin.
Yeah, literally.
Yeah.
No, but she made a point. It has to be playing when I walk in, and it has to be a casual thing. It
Yeah,
can't
to
be like a
stop things go.
wait. I see where this is going. Hold on,
Yeah.
I got a playlist for this.
I did.
Oh,
What'd you do?
I had to like skip a Pitbull song one time because music was playing, and I was like, "This can't happen."
Ethel
This
Kane
can't
did.
happen.
How
Come
did
on with
Pitbull
Them.
end up on your playlist?
It wasn't. It wasn't a specific playlist. It
Honestly,
was just music
could
was
be
playing.
cool.
Hotel rooms are. I was like, I
Oh,
can't.
we had the Hotel Motel Holiday
The
Inn.
Inn.
Wow.
And I was like, I can't. This is not. It ruined the vibe.
All right, should we get into The Bachelor?
Yeah.
They're in Madrid.
I think Rose leaving means I was right.
I think it's giving. She's like, I was sabotaged, and I no longer can be here.
yeah.
I mean, her
Mhm.
conversation with Grant was not the slightest bit reassuring. She's like, it put a stint in our relationship. He's like, yeah, it absolutely did.
I
She's
don't
like,
know.
all right.
Yep.
He's like, all right.
But that still means that she said and did something she knew she shouldn't have done, and Carolina definitely threw her under the bus and definitely screwed her over, and is definitely the messiest of the group for
Fair enough.
sure.
In the teaser, you see Dina even turn on Carolina, and that to
Yeah.
me is like, okay, we're clearly seeing that
Because they
the
were
issue.
crying like in solidarity at the end of this episode.
Right.
Yeah, she's like, I see myself in you, or you in me, or whatever.
Yeah, Carolina's kind of the worst.
She's the Carolina show.
100%.
Yeah.
Not a fan.
I disagree.
What?
I disagree. I think the house are being bullies.
Okay.
I know this goes against everything I said last week.
Yeah, you
But-
last week was like, the house can never be the bully. It is Carolina to the max. She's the worst.
I'm over here forgiving Zoe. I'm
We
like,
need
I get
a-
your
we need-
trauma.
we need a name for Leia's.
You always
hot
say
takes.
you deserve the right to be wrong.
I've been calling her
I love
Chaos
arguing with Leia.
Leos.
What?
I've been calling her Chaos
Okay.
Leos.
Yeah.
Chaos Leia's.
That is what they call me because I'm always just like,
So wait, explain
Fumbling in.
back your girl Carolina.
Yeah.
okay. I just think that they're coming a little hard on her. I disagreed with Juliana. I just think that like mind your own business a little bit. Like if she's clearly anxious. Like she's like, I don't know if he's the guy for me. We've had one date. I need more time. She's just saying everything that's going on in her head out loud.
You don't
I
think that
agree with you on that. Actually,
you don't think that if you were in a room with a
No.
bunch of girls who are all going after the same guy, one in particular who's had a shit ton of time with him, and she's like, I don't know, I'm just like, I just like don't know if I see. You wouldn't be like, really, bitch? Like,
do we
come
know
on.
exactly what she said?
It was in last week's episode where she was going off about like, I wish I never even went on that date. Like, I don't feel secure about this. I need more time, or I don't even know if this is the person for me. Like she went on a whole thing after coming back from Vegas where these girls are like, I haven't even gotten one-on-one time
All right,
with him
so
at
I
a group
don't-
date.
I don't
and then
remember
even
that
on this
specifically.
episode where she's sitting, they're all on the couch, and she's like, I just feel like
I don't remember it specifically, so I do think context matters. I do think sometimes in that world, the house, the bully, will go after anyone who's not like saying, I'm deeply in love with the lead, like week 2. You know, anyone who's demonstrating any like, hey, you know, we'll see. And like, I still want to get to know someone and I want to take my time and yada, 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 is sometimes like portrayed by the house as like not being grateful for being there.
No.
no.
Okay.
I think that is valid.
Okay.
I think it is Carolina saying, I wish I would have never gone on our one-on-one private
That's a temper
jet to
tantrum.
Vegas. Like that is a very ungrateful thing to
Yeah,
say
no,
to
that's
a
a-
bunch of women who are dying to have time with this
Okay,
man.
then that's a temper tantrum.
And I also think that this is providing a little bit of context of why Rose said what she said, is because I think Carolina is going around complaining, saying all of these thoughts, and they're just like comparing stories and whatnot. And then whenever Carolina gets upset, that's when she's running to Grant or crying and whatnot. But like, you think a whole bunch of women dating the same men want to hear you complain about how your time was spent or you not getting enough time when you've had the most time? You do seem ungrateful. And Juliana was being an adult, pulled her aside and was like, hey, in the context of which you're talking about Grant, it doesn't seem like you want to be here. And if I was saying things the way that you were, I would hope someone would say to me, why are you still here?
I really don't think Juliana went about it in a way that was like disrespectful towards Carolina. I
No.
think she was just like, hey, this is kind of like what you're saying, and it's kind of rubbing a lot of the other women like the wrong way. Maybe you should like stop or reframe the way. And Carolina turned, it was like, I never asked you for your opinion. I never blah, 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 blah. And like she made it.
Carolina said, so what are you asking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If she would have done that in front of all of the women who also felt that same way, then Carolina would start crying and being like, everyone's attacking me and ganging up on me, which she still ended up doing anyways without that happening. So I'm just like, no, she's playing the victim. But then also when Grant's not around, she's talking shit, or at least being like, no, somebody should feel bad for me for what I'm going through. And I just don't. You've had the best dates experience. He's pretty much made it very clear in front of women, kissing you and whatnot, that you have his attention, and it's still not good enough for you.
Do you think Carolina was milking those tears when Grant walked in?
100%.
sure.
All of a sudden she was like, I
No.
can't even let you get through a sentence with a
You don't, Leia? You think all of Carolina's tears are 100% genuine and authentic? From the
Yeah, I think
natural
that she
spring
was
of
like
Carolina?
overwhelmed in that moment.
I think she's on the
What did
wrong
you say?
show if these are the things she's worried about. You know what I mean?
No,
Like,
kind of on the right show, but
well, well, she is on the right show. But like for her to be like, oh, I'm not sure about Grant, it's like, girl, you're on The Bachelor. So the house is like, it's kind of a cult mentality, it seems to me.
well, that's
And so she's not buying into it. And it's like, to be on the show, you kind of have to buy into it, right?
yes and no. I think it's splitting hairs. I always get annoyed, and I was kind of that person on Andy's season. I was like, I don't know, I'll get to know her. I had early attention, so I liked her earlier, but like as soon as I was like, my villain edit started when people were like, he's ungrateful, he's on a date and like he's not sure about her yet. I'm like, that's because I just went on this, like I don't know.
Yeah.
I literally I've never spent more than 12 minutes with her, right? And this has happened in multiple seasons, like that narrative gets used against people sometimes.
Right.
But Carolina is going on a date, complaining about the date, saying things like, I didn't even want, like kind of throwing a fit, like saying things that she's not grateful to have that day. That's different than someone saying, I had an amazing time with this person. I love what I've gotten to know. I have more questions.
Yeah.
I'm not in love yet. And sometimes the I'm not in love yet has been weaponized against people in that house. But that doesn't seem like what Carolina is doing.
Carolina, yeah. No, Carolina is making a point that it's like something is happening to her and everybody's time now is being completely monopolized by Carolina having tears and a problem. Either deal with it head on or discuss it with Grant in your one-on-one time and then sit down and let other people have their moment. But it's like the entire night, every rose ceremony is everybody consoling or Grant needing to console Carolina. And it's just retired.
Wasn't it a little dramatic though for Rose to have her panic attack?
No, I mean, even then I saw like when she went outside, I was like, the sun is coming up. They've probably been drinking. And I'm just like, I think it just got to her. She's like, I've been here all night. We're not getting time together. The last time we talked, we were disconnected. She confronts the situation and it's like, yeah, he's not saying I was going to pick you tonight or like, I don't want you to go home. He said, okay, let me walk you to your car.
I was like, okay.
Yeah.
I don't think she was overreacting.
I don't think so either.
I think Carolina put the nail in her coffin and she was like, there's no going forward from here. Like I need to go at this point.
I'm like, I still agree with Cazzie. Like Rose, if nothing else, she was foolish.
Yeah, she trusted
saying
Carolina.
Yeah, she shouldn't have.
But
She shouldn't have trusted
the
her.
more I'm watching Carolina, the more I'm wondering if Rose
Rose got
duped.
shafted.
She got duped by someone playing a more sophisticated game.
100% chess and checkers.
Somebody flashback last episode of us.
Hey, we're only working with the information we have in front of us.
Yeah.
As I was saying, because even then, I've changed my tune completely on Zoe. Now, knowing what I know about her background, I'm like, okay, I understand why you're defensive and that you're not trying to open up with these women right now and you're coming here for a goal. I still stand by the fact that if you're coming on The Bachelor saying you're not here for making friends, you don't get to cry when the women do not like you.
Yeah.
But even seeing them all come together, I was like, okay, this is just like easing into things. It's a weird situation having 20 women dating one man or 10 women at this point dating one man. But like,
I'm Team Latia. Whoever, like the fact that she was voicing concern over Carolina.
yeah, like she's
So
got to
it's
go.
kind of all I needed to hear.
Mhm.
Me and Latia are Instagram friends now.
Wow.
I DM'd her and I said, I'm obsessed with you. So
I
we're
love her.
besties.
Latia
That's
seems like
awesome.
she really, who knows, but she gives like above the drama.
Yeah.
But if you ask her opinion, she'll give an honest answer.
Yeah.
Period.
We love that.
One thing I have to say about Grant's season, and tell me if you agree or disagree, but I kind of feel like watching this season, this is the first time where I'm like not really sure where he's gonna go. Like I feel like he has so many genuine connections with these women, like even his date with Serafina today, where I was like, wasn't thinking of hers in yesterday's show, but like how much chemistry and how great their date went, and they just were on that 3-on-1 last week, and it's just like, I never know. I just feel like there's always a new woman that's like pulling forward from like the back ranks. And usually when you're watching Bachelor, you kind of have like your top 4 throughout.
I agree. It's I don't have a good read on his like
Mhm.
favorites.
Well, he sent
I do.
Natalie home and like one of them, like he was like one of his tops last week. Then it's like he brought the rocks and stuff for Parisa after having the cute chubby bunny date and gave her the date rose, and then she went home. So it's just like it's kind of hard to like navigate which way he's going with things.
Yeah.
It's definitely Latia,
It has to be.
Juliana are his top 2, his final 2. I feel like I didn't see a lot of laughing or humor or goofiness or childlike playness with Dina or Serafina.
But his conversation with Dina where she was like, like I'm here to also take care of us. Like it's not just you.
Mhm.
No, they had
Mhm.
both had really great,
Yeah.
deep, important conversations, but I didn't see that like, ha ha ha, we can still be kids
Right. Chemistry.
and
Well,
joke
yeah.
and laugh. Yeah.
Juliana is one of my like top runners, and then it was like even last week with this week with the confrontation with Carolina, I was like, oh no, up until they sat and talked, and then I was like, okay, here's the chemistry again. But her not getting a one-on-one, I was kind of shocked by that. I was like, what is happening? I thought she was your front runner.
It's only week 4. Your real front runner usually gets the one-on-one week 5. Usually.
I think Juliana gets a one-on-one next week.
We have Parisa to give us a little bit of insider baseball. Let's bring her up. Well, welcome to the show.
Yes, thank you for having me.
How are you feeling after your well, you haven't watched it yet. We know. We've seen it. You're kicked out. Your exile from Madrid.
Yeah, no, I'm doing great. It was, not gonna lie, kind of unexpected in the moment, but after getting home and reflecting on everything, like understand and but no, I'm doing very well. Thank you for asking.
You sound you saying you understand and I mean this with all the love in the world, like you don't really mean it, like you really want to say this is bullshit. I shouldn't have gone home.
No. I had this mindset all, throughout my journey. And this mindset was, don't get involved in drama. You're not here for that. Just stay separated and just stay focused on this journey of being in the moment. You're growing a relationship with Grant and exploring, seeing where this is going. And you don't need any distractions. And so after doing some, reflection on everything, I feel like I dropped the ball that, this last week in Madrid with getting involved in drama.
Like you wish you would have got more involved, or you regret getting involved?
I regret getting involved and just kind of allowing it to get into my mind space, distracting me.
How did you get involved in it?
I think, throughout the whole time, I mean, as you've seen, I'm always in the back with biting my lips, not speaking up, the drama that was happening throughout the season. This last week in Madrid, I kind of couldn't take it anymore with just the negativity and the constant back and forth. And I interjected myself in, more conversation regarding just, the drama that was happening. And I kind of allowed it to get into my headspace. And so I was kind of just focused on that week and not as focused on, what I'll be bringing to my conversations with Grant, what I want to talk about with him, what I want him to know about me. And so I just kind of allowed it to get into just my headspace. And it just distracted me.
Do you still have the rocks that Grant gave you, or did you throw them in the trash?
Oh, no, of course I have those rocks. It was still it was such an amazing journey, and it was so fun. And especially too, in Madrid, our group date and my time with him, they're all wonderful memories that I'll have forever, especially the rocks.
Especially the rocks. Where did you land? Were you Team Rose or Team Carolina? You have to pick
it's
one.
Hard. I wasn't there, when the notes were being shared between them. So I'm not entirely sure specifically what was said between them. But I feel like we all just kind of need to read in between the lines and understand too that not everything is shown. It's kind of the tip of the iceberg of what is being shown.
Could you elaborate?
We all, especially in the beginning of this journey, we're all sharing notes with each other. We're all talking about our time with him. People, viewers don't know, but we don't have any communication outside with our friends and family. So it's the same, when you go on a date and, at home, when you go on a date, you come home, you tell your best friends everything. And we don't have that. So we are confiding in each other. We're talking about our moments with him. And I feel like we all know and expect that everyone's going to be having their little individual moments with him. This is what we signed up for. So I don't know. I feel like none of this needed to happen.
So it was normal for all of y'all to be it was normal for Rose to confide in Carolina about what she thought Grant had said to her. And it was out of the ordinary for Carolina to go and tell Grant that.
Oh, yeah. And I feel like it's known too when we all talk to each other. We're all confiding in each other. And I feel like it's just known, if I'm doing that, I can trust, or I hope to trust that they're not going to turn around and go talk about it with him. Definitely, yeah, it brought a lot of negativity to the house, and it was tough.
Do you think Carolina sabotaged your time?
I personally, looking back at everything, I don't believe it was intentional, and like it was a domino effect, these actions. And
it did have an effect on how much time we had with Grant following her confronting him, because it did, it took up other girls' time that they would have had with him.
Are you pro steal him on a group date to get some time, or are you like need to respect everyone, can't do that?
I feel like you need to be respectful. And I kept saying too, I started to notice it's truly, if you focus on the quality of your time with Grant rather than the quantity, like how many times you take him, how long you're with him, then I feel like you do set yourself up for success.
So definitely Team Rose. It sounds like you're Team Rose.
I just, again, I don't know. None of this needed to happen.
You strike me as someone
I
who,
feel
like,
like-
before you came on, you seemed like a little like you were kind of the sassy one. You had the PowerPoint, and now you're like afraid to ruffle. You're afraid to ruffle feathers.
I just sat back for the most part, watched everything, and I could see with some people, again, like there's no point in confronting them. There's no point to say anything, because it's just gonna be a back and forth game, and it's not gonna fix any problems. And so I never was like motivated really to just confront some people throughout this journey because of that reason.
And when you say some people, do you mean Carolina, or who do you mean? Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like I had a moment where, I think it was last week's episode, when she got back from her date. My approach was to ask questions, to have her answer them. And there just wasn't really a great exchange there. Like it just seemed like she just wasn't really looking for help or a solution in that moment, which is totally okay. Sometimes people just need to vent. And like that was, it's totally fine.
What were some of the questions that you asked? Because I know she said that she kind of like regretted going on the date in general. So was this before she said that or after?
This was, during that conversation. It was just more just like asking her, like, how do you feel? And when she would say certain things, I'm like, well, how did that make you feel in that moment? Did you say this to Grant? Does he know? So just like questions like that, just to kind of like talk her through it. And I wasn't getting responses, but that was enough for me to be like, we're going to let her work this out. Again, like, I don't want to get sucked in. When I was there, I used this analogy. I related everything to like playing Mario Kart. When you play like multiplayer Mario Kart. And so, you have like four, like your screen split up into like four different screens, and everyone's in this race. If you take your eyes off your race for 1 second and you look to see where someone else is in the race, you might crash, you might hit the wall, you might like run over a banana, and like that throws you off then the race you're on. And and it takes 1 second to just glimpse over to see where someone else is at, to lose your place in the race. And I just kept relating it to that. I'm like, okay, like put my blinders up, just focus on my screen. Like this is not going to help me, obviously, in my connection with Grant. This isn't going to help me at all. So like, let's just get back into my lane.
Makes sense.
Interesting.
And then he sent you home. That was a bummer.
During your journey, what was your favorite moment with Grant?
I have a couple. So one of them wasn't shown, but it was a really good moment. It was after the basketball date. Like I kept, like goofing around on the court. I was like, teach me like a free throw, teach me how to make a basket, because I have never played basketball before. And then I kept joking. I'm like, oh, like I'll teach you how to play soccer, because like soccer has always been a sport I played my whole life. And I was going to look for him to steal him for my time. And he was like, come with me. And then we walked out to the front, and he set up these two soccer nets. And he had a soccer ball waiting there. And it was just the cutest thing. We played like 1v1, and it was so funny. I'm in heels, and I'm like, no, these heels are coming off. Like we're playing a real game. I loved that. And then the rocks too, when he gave me the rocks after our group date. That was very meaningful.
Are we going to see you on the beaches of paradise? If you get asked, will you say yes?
If I get asked, I really am looking for a husband. I'm not having any luck. And I heard the success rate is very good there.
Bachelor in Paradise is fun, but I don't know if I would go there like for a husband.
She said the success rate's high. I guess it is pretty.
happened.
I guess it's higher than.
It could
right?
definitely
And,
happen.
like,
It definitely is higher.
Yeah. And like you see some of those success stories too. I mean, currently, for me right now, it's Hannah and Dylan. Like that is that's inspiring.
Yeah. Kaylin and Dean.
Yeah.
They're paradise and
Mhm.
happily married.
Ashley and Jared.
Ashley and Jared.
I'm aware of their success stories. They remind
That
us every
story is
season.
amazing.
They do remind us every single season of
Every
how much
season.
success
How
they
much
have.
success they've had. Well, thank you so much for your time. Sorry it ended so shortly. And maybe we'll see you on the beaches of paradise.
Yes. Thank you again for having me.
Thank you.
All right, take care.
Say hi to your cat.
Thank you. I will. Okay, bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, she seemed lovely, and I wish her well. Maybe we'll see her in paradise.
I hope she gets every single rock she has ever dreamed of.
It sounds
I
like
really
she
like-
really hated Carolina and didn't want to say it.
Hey,
We tried.
Should we jump to
That's her prerogative.
Summerhouse?
Summerhouse. Summerhouse is looks like it's gonna be entertaining.
Summerhouse is
It does look
Back.
very good.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes,
So good.
I'm locked in.
Lindsay's whole like
Oh my
rundown
God.
of like, so
8
season
years
1, I
ago.
did this, not season 2.
Listen,
I
there's
can't-
2 new girls, so let me explain to you who
I
I,
can't-
am.
It was very
Wow.
much like, and Nick said this, Lindsay's pregnant. Oh, let's bring in 2 25-year-olds
Yeah.
to like even out the like playing field. And even Jesse being like, there's a pregnant woman
Yeah.
here.
Yeah,
Well, they're bringing in another
Jesse's
guy
face
too.
was everything.
No, I do love it because it's kind of like when Jersey Shore did that with Snooki, I think was pregnant during, and you're just kind of like, so how is this gonna go?
And I asked Nick, I said, I
This is a great
wonder,
question.
there
Next
is no
season.
winning, there is no good answer. What is going to happen this summer of Summerhouse? So the next summer, next season.
It's one thing to
Does
show
she
up.
have her baby bedside in a bassinet with her?
Mm.
Or does she leave the baby at home with dad or with nanny to like go party in the Hamptons for a weekend?
It's a lose-lose.
Neither are good.
It's a
know.
lose-lose.
I know what's happening. Lindsay is gonna go to Roni.
Mm.
Roni?
They're
Didn't they say they were canceling Roni?
They're casting Ronnie.
yeah, they're
Oh.
So maybe.
They're
I don't know,
casting
but
them.
like Natalie makes a great point, and it's a great question, and it's one that it has no good answer. It's one thing to show up pregnant, and our last memory is you ending a relationship with your fiance who's also on the show, and obviously very compelling TV. If I'm the Bravo producers, I'm doing everything I can to make sure Lindsay shows up with baby in the oven, to confront Carl. Next summer, she has a child.
Like you can't have a baby sleeping and Kyle trying to be a DJ in the same house. You just can't.
And every summer, Thursday
Black
through
Sheep.
Sunday, she's just gonna peace out.
Guest house.
Well, my argument to that was even when West and Jesse were talking about like sharing a bedroom, and Connor was watching with me, and he was just like, "Why would they choose to do this? This is weird." And I was like, "Well, it is only for a weekend. It's 2 nights out of the week. So Lindsay very well could come down, maybe not every weekend, but leave her baby at home, come hang out for a night, 2 nights."
Ciara, we're not asking. This is not like a round table of like, how do we figure this out? How can Lindsay execute?
We're
said
producing the
plan?
It's
show.
what is
Like-
Bravo Nation going to eat her alive for? And it's one of those two.
Of course
and both
she can
of them
do it.
are bad
Like-
answers.
Yes, of course she can
so
do
she
it.
takes off the summer.
I
I
think
mean,
that's
listen-
her only option of scathing past.
She can bring her kid to the Kyle DJ house or like every weekend. Just also, again, like I don't know how Lindsay enjoys, or like I don't know what Lindsay's relationship with her child or what motherhood's been like for Lindsay. I have no
But
idea.
like, isn't this like the problem with people in general? Like how somebody chooses to like be a mother if they go away for a weekend, that doesn't mean that they're negligent to their child.
All weekend,
weekend?
it's every weekend.
That's what I'm
every
saying. She
weekend?
might not be
2
there every
months.
weekend.
she could be like Gabby. She's not always there.
Like she could
listen,
skip weekends.
You're right.
Paige
In the-
did it
in the
all the time.
In the context of a working woman, and but the problem with this show is Bravo just obsessively likes to pretend this isn't their job. That this is a choice of people just like for whatever reason getting together and they're friends, and they just every Thursday night drive out to the house and party like fucking rock stars and drive back. And Bravo wants to like critique Carl about Lindsay literally lecturing Carl about not having a job and he needs a job, all pretending that he's not a TV star and that this isn't his job.
Mhm.
And to Natalie's point, like Bravo Nation kind of buys into this narrative for the most part. They're just like, what is your job? Because it's not a TV star. And so the optics are just fucking brutal. And like, even for the working ladies out there, yeah, it's a tough choice that every woman and every parent has to face of a very difficult challenge if they have a job that takes that takes them away from their kid potentially 3 to 4 days out of the week.
Because
That's
it's-
hard on any parent and any child.
Because it's also not a regular job. It's going and partying and drinking and fighting and staying up late and this and that. And
a
like, I
choice.
think Bravo Nation is going to be like, really? This is what you left your kid at home to do? Like, I think they're going to have a problem with that.
Well,
I mean,
she's
we
not
could s-
drinking this summer.
I was going to say it. All the girls are in bed by
Yeah.
10:30 that are her age. So I'm also
It's
kind
just-
of like, it's not like Paige and everyone are
and
like, get in your
night
car
one-
and let's go to Hamptons.
Night one, definitely. But it does seem to get crazy in the trailer. It seems to really.
She's in a tough pickle to like. It's not an easy choice for Lindsay. All I'm saying, it's just not an easy choice.
I'm interested to see what she does. Yeah. But what do we think of the new girls?
Seem fun.
I know Lexi was dating Brooklyn Beckham.
Was she really?
Yeah, I saw clips and
She
people were
was.
saying she like downgraded by coming on Summerhouse.
Well,
Which I don't
kind-
know if
well,
Kind of.
Kind of.
Well, he
if
is
she was
married.
dating Brooklyn Beckham.
He is married.
yeah.
Yeah. Regardless of like that, but like Brooklyn Beckham is like
A Beckham.
it's like Hollywood royalty in a
Yeah.
way. Like she's
And like
dating,
now she's with Jesse
UK
Solomon.
royalty.
kind of, listen, I mean, no disrespect to Jesse, love Jesse, but like, if, us reality TV stars don't get the same clout
No.
as some of the like,
Someone whose mom is a Spice Girl and whose dad is like one of the best soccer players
In the world,
entire
and one of the hottest
and just like
alive.
And the hottest man alive.
one of like the most sought after celebrities
Yeah.
in the past 30 years,
What-
20 years.
Mhm.
And he's the oldest son of this beautiful family.
What
Yeah, I
was the
mean,
reaction? What did Bravo World? Is it Bravo Nation, Bravo World? What do they refer to themselves as?
Bravosphere.
Bravosphere. What did
Bravo
Bravosphere think of the two new girls?
I think people love Lexi. She's pretty. She's like flirty.
Mm-hmm.
But
What
I mean, it's only one episode of her. I don't think people are really talking about the other friend.
I mean, right now, yeah, I'm more focused on Jesse being
Yeah.
obsessed with Lexi than I am about Lexi at the moment.
How is Ciara and Lexi going to get along?
It doesn't look like it's
doesn't
gonna
look like
go
they
well
are.
because
Because you have two just like very traditionally like beautiful women by like anyone's standards, both like seemingly successful models. And so far, Ciara has like
Sarah's also a nurse. Let us not forget.
I will say in the teaser, her making out or doing who knows what with Jesse Solomon is random. Is it,
It was
not?
the flirting, and Lexi was like, "Seriously, he's flirting with her right now." And then it came to like, "I don't trust you" or whatever.
Because aren't they
Lexi
also
yelling
like
at-
dancing in the teaser together? And then I could have seen a makeout. I might have made that up in my head, but
I didn't see a makeup, but I'm just like Jesse. It pays her all of the compliments, tells her how hot she is, like whatnot. That's just part of Jesse's personality. And I also feel like Lexi probably
single Jesse.
Yeah, so I think Lexi probably thinks that Jesse's fully committed to something that he's not, but he's also just like a playful person.
This is giving all the makings of Wes and Ciara from last season.
Mhm.
Like Jesse's in love, he's obsessed with her. He's
Yeah.
like out there, I'm gonna marry this girl. Episode 1, he's like, I'm gonna date this girl.
Which I think Ciara and Wes both have a conversation with Jesse being like, "Hey, bro, maybe like not so soon. It is the first day. Let's pull it back a little bit."
First day or not, but at some point, Jesse's gonna continue to get to know Lexi, and I'm sure, like everyone, he's gonna like learn some things he likes and some things he doesn't like. Right now, he's just obsessed with how hot she is,
He does think she may be ditzy, potentially.
He does think she may be ditzy.
but doesn't care.
Yeah.
Still wants to sleep with her.
I don't.
I do feel like whatever's going to happen is going to be based off of Jesse's actions and not clarifying things. And somehow it's going to end up Lexi and Ciara are fighting because of Jesse's actions, never having to take responsibility for being in the middle of it. And that's exactly kind of Wes's shit. Wes takes zero accountability for what he did leading Ciara on, but then
Well,
the
we don't
second
know
that
what
he's ready to
happened
move
yet,
on,
but why is Ciara gonna fight with her? Is that the big question?
because Lexi's going to be upset with Ciara based off of Jesse's actions, and Ciara's going to take the brunt of it because that's what fucking happens. It's going to be the two women pit against each other when all Jesse has to say is, "Oh, I'm not that serious about you," or "I'm just messing around with my friend." But it's going to be two girls fighting over the miscommunication based off of one
guys
man.
Guys fight over women too. Like,
No.
And stars
But
are
they
in the
don't get
sky.
pitted against.
Yeah,
they
we're
don't
saying
get
something obvious.
pitted against each other in the
That's-
same way
yeah,
that women do.
Exactly.
do.
She like Lexi
do.
would have zero reason to be mad at Ciara if she's the one who's like if like Jesse's the one who should take.
no, we don't even know what happened yet.
We'll see.
We'll see. And we will
Let's say.
I already know
this
which.
clip
I already know which
rewind.
side you all will be on for sure.
This teaser is wild though, because we also have Carl potentially talking to a girl, and then Paige saying she caught Craig. So
I mean, the
Yeah.
talking to the girl was like, so you're interested in lemurs or like whatever. Like, you look like a lemur, so you like lemurs. That was what we saw of Carl talking to a girl. It did not seem like he is like getting his swagger back.
Yeah.
And, like,
I mean, listen, he has been off the market for a year. He's just
He's rusty.
He's a tin
yeah,
man.
he's just getting his
He'll get it
confidence back.
back.
Forget about his swagger. He's just getting his mental health back.
he was so
Yeah.
real when he walked in. He's like, I'm afraid. I don't want to walk in there. And the producer's like, well, it's normal. Like, you can. And he's like avoiding at all costs.
having the
walking into-
massive ultrasound poster board
That
on
made
the
me
mantle
laugh.
Oh
was
my.
That was
God.
so funny.
love.
It was so funny.
What did Paige say about it? She was just like, Lindsay, I love her.
Also, Wes,
She knows what she's doing.
Wes immediate, like, do we know dad?
What's the baby's last name?
Babies, do we know last
Hubbard,
name?
don't you dare.
We're not doing this right now.
And then and was it Paige that was like, you can go up there and
Amanda.
ask her.
Amanda goes, I dare you to go
Oh,
ask
yeah.
her right now.
And then he does.
I love Wes, actually.
It was really funny.
I love all of them.
Me too.
They're all great.
I'm just meeting these people, and I like all of them very much.
Yeah, they're all
is how I
great.
feel.
Do you think? Do
We'll
you think Jesse and Lexi will be together at the end of the season?
No,
No.
no, they won't.
Absolutely
And
not.
do you think?
No way.
Do you think either of them will feel a certain way about it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah,
Or
totally.
do you think Lexi will be very upset with Jesse?
No.
Yes.
Yes. I don't think anything will affect Jesse. I think
At all.
Lexi will have a
No,
complex.
it's gonna be
Yeah.
just
Same
like
shit,
last season.
Same shit, different font.
I think
Kyle is trying to be a more respectful husband, so he's coming home at 2 a.m. instead of 4
Can you
a.m.
imagine being
Wow.
40 years old and needing a pat on the back for being in bed by 2 a.m.?
congratulations,
wild.
sir. You are doing the bare minimum.
He's trying this season though.
I know. I
'cause
said finally.
Even when he was like, I had to like really give her time for her friends and like reinforce her doing what she wants to do. I was like, okay, this is what we needed.
Yeah, stop thinking about yourself and take a step back and like
No, it
look
is
at what your
progress.
wife needs.
It is
yeah.
progress. I'm not criticizing any relationship aspect of it. I'm just like blown away that a 40-year-old has the desire
I think he
Right.
said he's almost 42.
to
The
party that hard.
Stamina. Even then, my favorite is that he like only came home like 10 minutes before the next
Yeah.
taxi.
That was really
You
funny.
all
But that's
gotta
not
coordinate
on
I
him.
came home before all the guys.
That's not on him though. In his defense, like sometimes when one person leaves the party, the other guys are like, "Well, maybe we should just go."
I did love how as soon as he walked in that room, Amanda shot up and checked her phone
Yep.
for what time it was.
Mhm.
And then was instantly like, I'm annoyed at you. Ow, ow, ow.
Because you
don't
know
touch
he
me.
put his hand on the bed and it pulled her hair. Like, it was right on her hair. And she's like, get out of me.
Why is he sleeping naked?
Oh my god.
He always
That's a really
does.
good
It's a
question.
choice. He always does.
He's always been naked.
Yeah.
You're asking
Why?
why he's sleeping naked?
Yeah.
Some
you told
people
me you
do.
hated my pajama pants. So, and now you're like criticizing a man for sleeping naked?
Wow.
Damn.
Damn.
Gotcha.
Shit
Sit
got
in,
real.
sit in that.
And shit got silent over
A
there.
pair of pants she has, not
Not a
fan.
pair. You said the entire collection last night.
Oh,
Because I said
last
these.
night.
Yeah,
And
they
he
all like
said
to
the
say-
entire collection.
You don't get to judge
What
someone's
did you not
PJ
like
pants.
about them?
Okay.
Thank you.
What was wrong with the pants?
There's
What was wrong with the
plenty of
pants?
clothes. They just
He wants me to wear
Okay.
he wants me to wear thigh-high lingerie, wired
Oh,
lace.
yeah. To sleep?
Yeah,
For
yeah,
sure.
yeah.
For sure.
Cutouts on the vagina and like nipple
Feathered heels.
That's it.
Yes, feathered
Yes, of
heels.
course.
Wants easier access.
He wants you to look like.
He wants me to wear ashless
Uh-huh.
chaps. He wants me.
Yeah.
He wants you to look like Liza Minnelli.
Wear a
That's
naughty
it.
nurse outfit. Anything but PJs.
Is it because of the body like touching? Because
The
that's
body
valid.
touching.
That's
You
valid
can't.
regardless of who
What?
you are.
the what?
You wanna
Body
get into it?
Yeah, I want you to
Skin-to-skin
define body
contact.
touching.
Like skin to skin contact. Like if
Mhm.
someone's bundled up, I'm like, why am I in bed with you? You know?
Oh, please. I'm like, please do not touch me.
They're just not for me. Let's just be clear.
They're not, they're for her.
me. That's
Literally,
fine.
that's what I said.
Wow.
You can't win.
Exactly.
But that's how you win the game.
Southern Charm.
Southern Charm.
I'm just reminded of just how unserious most of these guys are, but in particular Shep.
Yeah.
I
This
think
episode
he-
was painful.
The
But
fact that
Yeah.
he doesn't realize that she fucking hates his guts is
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
like the craziest thing. Have some self-awareness.
She's
He's
just not that
Delulu.
into you, my guy.
At all.
At
Go to
all.
Lululand.
Do you think he's playing into it?
No.
No, I think he's trying to just like, I don't know. I think he feels like the love of his life he let go with Taylor. And I think he's trying to like overcompensate with this new relationship, acting like he has his shit together. And I did ayahuasca. And now I'm a healed person. And now I know what love is.
Yeah, he really fucked up with Taylor.
Really did. And then I'm like, yeah, the fact that like going to another country to go see your partner and them not being at the airport for you, like that tells you everything you need to know.
She left the
Not
room when he was
answering.
changing.
He did.
Left the room. He's like, what do you, his face, like, what do you mean you've seen me change? She's like, yeah, meet me downstairs.
I need space.
I
Yeah.
can't. He's like, space.
We've
He's like,
changed
so
like
much.
when you gotta tell your girlfriend, when you have to remind your girlfriend that you've changed together, and she's like, ew.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
know. So I'm gonna see you downstairs. Woof.
that was crazy.
But that's almost like the problem with this for Shep is it's like, he's been used to being able, like his kind of like, I don't get it, like his aloofness. At times it can be like almost charming, and it really has charmed the pants out of a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
But like the problem is he's now how 40?
I know he's the same age as Jax.
Oh my God.
Yep.
How old is he?
Age 44.
He is like the trust fund baby version of
He's
Jax.
44, right? And
Yeah,
so like,
but
and
less
it's just like
harmful.
Yeah.
in a relationship that a like unserious person is like what you saw with Taylor, where it's just like nothing was that serious. Anytime she wanted to have a serious conversation, it was like, what's the big deal? Like
Mhm.
nothing was serious. Like, and that's got to feel so fucking frustrating in a relationship with someone at this point of his life. Like, I love the way Shep, Craig, and Austin take care of each other. Like, it really is charming. Like that friendship, those three guys, like that is something special that they have. It does evolve though, and they do need to grow up. And like you really see Shep in this like stage of his life where you have Craig trying his ass to grow up, like trying his best to grow up. Like we'll see if he continues to do so after like post Paige life. Austin, not so much. Shep, I don't know, somewhere in between. But yeah, he's just kind of an unserious person that like I think is really starting to catch up with him at this stage of his life.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's kind of getting to the point where it's just like, bro, you kind of have to be. You're 44. You be serious about something, about anything. Pick something. Be a little serious about something. And he's just so unserious about everything.
I also think him being forced to cut back on his drinking based off of like BravoCon and his friends not talking to him anymore. I think that he can no longer mask his bad behavior with his drinking or going out or blaming it on that. So it's also kind of like, yeah, you're now being forced to like look at yourself. What do you prioritize? And unfortunately, now you're prioritizing the relationship Taylor wanted with you with a girl who literally wants nothing to do with you.
That's human nature.
You know, if had I known then what I know now, and it's just like, unfortunately, Sienna's not the one. But also it kind of seemed like Taylor was a lot more interested about Shep's and Sienna's relationship than I would be. I definitely wouldn't be calling my grandmother discussing it.
Taylor fucking died when she realized that she wasn't into Shep, his girlfriend. Shep's
Sienna.
Sienna?
Yeah.
Because like first she was like, she thought she was like having his new girlfriend's back.
Mm-hmm.
You're like, oh, what,
like it's probably you. You gotta like
you gotta
change
do
your
something.
Communication.
And then Austin and Craig were like, no, honestly, she's playing him for a fool. And then when she realized that like Shep's chasing this girl, she died inside. You could tell. It like broke her.
Oh yeah.
He's also flirting with Molly now. Or maybe not flirting, but like the whole
Molly has
bathing
a crush
suit.
on Shep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So badly.
Yeah.
Like that's the next season storyline is them together, right?
Next season, next episode.
Well, I'm just saying, like they're like true.
He's
Sure.
done with
Cry
Sienna.
on.
That's true. They are broken up in my head now. So
And we are in Bahamas. So if you need a shoulder to cry on in a bikini, it could be Molly.
And Molly's really cool. Molly deserves better than Shep to me, though, honestly.
I mean, who knows? Healed Shep wouldn't be so bad.
When is Shep getting healed though?
I don't know, but I was just saying.
Like, Molly just wants to play, like, she wants to listen to music. She wants to play her horn.
Shep needs to like, yeah, honestly, Shep needs to get broken. He needs to be broke by somebody, like a girl, a woman.
Was he not broken by Taylor and BravoCon and his friends and the drinking? Like, did that not break him enough? We need
And
to
I
be
feel
more
like this
broken.
is kind of like the like final like shove the dagger in. Like it's like, bro, you can't even.
He needs to be willing to be serious about something and vulnerable about something.
He's a mailbox money kid though, so that's where I'm also kind of like he can like start a bar tomorrow, and if it fails, no worries. But if it does great, just more money coming into his mailbox from his family.
He's rich.
Oh yeah,
Yeah. Trust fund baby.
like there's an entire town that they were just in earlier for the Derby that's named after his like great great grandfather or some shit.
isn't that what Patricia was like, or Miss Pat was
Tricks.
like? Sienna goes after rich men.
Well, she apparently matched with Whitney,
Yeah, so that's
so
where
I'm
it's
like
like
Whitney and Shep.
checks out,
She lives in the Bahamas and is smashing with people in South Carolina.
or goes to parties with all like the rich men.
She's clearly on Raya.
Yeah.
And she claimed that her grandmother was the biggest fan of Southern Charm, and somehow she ends up matching with Whitney and Shep. But she went on Instagram claiming that she didn't know who either of these people
Well,
were.
that's why she didn't change in front of Shep. She didn't want Gam Gam to see her watching Naked Man on camera.
Sure, that's
that makes
what it
sense.
Yeah, it's like, what was it?
Serafina.
Was it Serafina in The Bachelor was like, when she was like, I'm not interested in you. My mom just like is watching this show. And
So
I
real.
feel weird kissing in front of her.
Because Grant was like, like I just want to dress. Like I feel like you're a little apprehensive. with kissing me, and
Yeah,
she's
but like,
no.
I don't get off my TV screen. I don't
Yeah.
need your self-awareness, or I
Yeah.
don't care about mom or grandma. Like, if you're not here to play fucking, this is the pros.
Yeah.
This is reality TV. This is ABC The Bachelor. This is Bravo.
I mean, clearly she's like very much a fan of this show. She tried Whitney first, didn't work. Now on to Shep, easy access, right in. She like, you know, she's a fan of the show, but
Not a fan of Shep.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you guys for listening, and thank you to our guests, Cazzie David, David from Love is Blind, and Parisa from The Bachelor. We are back tomorrow for an amazing episode of Going Deeper with Alessia Cara. She has her new album out, Love and Hyperbole. It's a great album, but we have an even better conversation with her about just what she's been up to, kind of her break from music that she's taken, why she's back, her music in general. Just a lovely human being and an even better conversation. That is tomorrow on Going Deeper. And then on Thursday of Reality Recap, we have Denise Richards and Chrishell Stause joining us, talking about Denise talking about her new hit show on Bravo, Chrishell talking about her exit from Traitors. That and so much more. We'll see you all then. Bye. Hey guys, if you loved what you listened to, make sure you hit that subscribe button below. Thanks for listening. We'll see you next time.